Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Rich Perez welcoming you into a special edition of The Rundown. So you guys showed us a ton of love when we did this thing last year. We had to come back for another one. I always call it one of the most wonderful times of the year. So last year we had this thing on tape delay. This year, special treat for y'all. We are live on YouTube. We have the chat opened up. So if you guys got any questions, anything you want to get off your mind, off of whatever you're saying that you disagree with, agree on, feel free. Maybe we might even mention you on here. But with that being said, joined in with me, this man is a return guest. I've got the chance to interview him, do bracket breakdowns with him. He's one of the best in the biz at what he does. Don't believe me? The results speak for themselves. Khalid Dassan, a.k.a. Coach KD, in the building. How's it going, Coach?
Richie, my man, thank you for having me.
Of course, had to. If you guys are wondering why it's 2 instead of 3, Uncle Tony could not make it. He's dealing with some business right now, but maybe we'll get lucky and he'll call in or something midway through the show, because of course that'll definitely be fun.
That'll be entertaining.
But we're here for a reason. We are here for a reason. Like I said, NCAA championships are here next week, starting Thursday. Coming. You're joining us all the way from PA, right?
Yep, State College, PA.
All right. So we got like some insight and stuff going on. But let's start this thing now, man. Let's go ahead and get to it. 125 pounds. I was like looking through these earlier, and there's just like a couple where I'm just like, man, these are brutal. I'm not going to get too much into the whole seeding process and everything. We've been on Twitter and the other shows and wrestling media have gotten into it, but let's start off. When I'm looking at this, number one, the first thing that catches my eye is Devin Schroeder and Sam Latona first round. Sam Latona finished 6th in the country a year ago. Devin Schroeder, I believe, was in the blood round last year. He's been super solid. This is huge, but then here's what I've been thinking. Sam Latona's had a rough year. People are looking at the end of his season like, all right, he's put it together. He was able to get back to the ACC finals, lost to Jacob Camacho in the ACC finals, close when Camacho able to break through. I'm still, when you talk about Sam Latona, it's not talent for me. It's more like, we know you're cutting a ton of weight, and I'm still thinking, what does he look like on a multiple day weigh-in, So with that factored in, I'm not sure we see the best Sam Latona in this, because that's a big pull that he's making, even though he's made some strides. ACC's was only on one day, so I got to take Devin Schroeder over him in that one. Killian Cardinale and Corbin Mink catches my eye, although Killian Cardinale should take that one. Then you got Taylor Lamont, an All-American, going up against Malik Heilman, who's definitely improved. That could be something. I want to say, I think I might take Malik Heilman in that one. I don't know. Taylor Lamont hasn't. He's been solid for Utah Valley in his return, but he hasn't really impressed me much. And Malik's really done some great things this season. So I'm gonna take Malik Heilman to move on in that one. Drake Ayala against Fabian Gutierrez. I'm high on him. We'll probably talk about our expectations for him once we get out of these first rounds. But aside from that, in the first round at 125, DiAugustino and Shawver catches my eye. And then, of course, all Big 12 matchup between Terakina and Master Giovanni. Master Giovanni really turned it up at the Big 12. So Terakina's always in a match because he's got all his throws going on. But I think I might, if Mastro looks like he did at Big 12s, I'll take him to move on in that one. Oh, and I'm sorry, KD. The other one, Joey Prada and Jacob Camacho first round. That is another one that is insane to me. And the winner of that would most likely get Patrick Glory in the round of 16. For that one, I think I'll take Camacho.
Yeah, I think we know where I'm going with this one. I got Camacho too. I don't think it'll be all that close.
Right. Anything else at 25 that really catch your eye before we try and move?
I mean, I like the Lamont versus Heilman match. I honestly believe that one's a toss-up. I actually think Taylor Lamont will take that one. Heilman has actually looked pretty good this season, though. There's just a lot of crazy matches. Latona's really tough. Latona's Schroeder match is probably got to be is that the craziest first round match at 25? I would have to imagine, right? Was Schroeder an All-American last year?
No, he has an All-American, but you know how solid he is.
But I mean, at a certain point in the season last year, he was as high as like probably number 2, obviously minus the Ivy Leagues but even with that, he was number 2 in the country for a long period of time. Sam Latona is tough too. Sam Latona was the 2nd seed coming in last year. That's a crazy one.
Super, super crazy. If we're going off these picks based on, I got Soriano versus Drew Hildebrandt in the 2nd round. Now I'm picking Soriano to win that one, but Hildebrandt, he had a really bad Big Ten tournament. It's a huge reason why Michigan only wins by 1.5 points. You figure if he's able to hold the seed, Penn State walks away with that thing. When they wrestled in the dual meet, it was a super close match, and I don't expect Soriano to really open up much on the feet. So I'm expecting it to be a close match in the 2nd round between those two. Drew Hildebrandt just finished 4th in the country a year ago. I got to look at these backside draws, but I think he'd at least be like right there to get back on the podium again. Maybe blood round finish at worst. You know what I mean? But we all can agree he's better than a 16 seed. He gets the 16 seed based on the Big Ten finish.
I agree. Agree with that. Well, did he even score a point at Big Tens?
Nothing.
Obviously Penn State walks away with that one. If he he wrestles below his seed and scores a couple points, they win. Obviously lost by 1.5 points, but I see him and Soriano being a good match. I got Soriano. Obviously, it's gonna be hard for me to choose against Soriano on this top half of the bracket.
Right. No, I hear you. I get Soriano's, in my opinion, in the semis, especially because I would have him Friday morning meeting Patrick McKee, with Patrick McKee beating Schroeder Thursday night. McKee's when the lights are on, he's ready to go. He showed us that at Big Tens, he showed us that at Nationals last year with his 3rd place finish. But Soriano should skate to the semis. Even those guys are solid. No disrespect to them, but you know who we're talking about. And then
Soriano's tough, man.
I would have Soriano meeting. So I'd have Court. Yo, are you ready for this?
I'm afraid I think I might know
what I'm about to say.
No, I want to hear it. Let me see. I'll tell you after.
I'm on the tops. I'm on the top half still.
I know. You're trying to say who you think is going to be in the semifinals with Soriano?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you thinking Heilman's going to make the semifinals?
No.
Ayala?
I've been an Ayala guy since before. We talked as soon as the lead.
I'm a fan. I like Ayala.
When the lead thing happened before it was confirmed that Spencer Lee was done for the season, we would think, I don't know if it was in Florida that me and you were talking, or it might have just been on the phone. I'm like, you gotta pull Ayala's red shirt. He's showed you in the opens how good he is. He's been right. He's 0-4 against Mitch McKee. That does suck. But
no, I think he has a win again. Does he have a? No. He doesn't have a win against Pat McKee.
I said Mitch. Yeah, Pat. He hasn't beaten Pat. He's been right there every. I'm not sure about the big. Are
you sure about that? I think
100%.
I'm almost positive he had a win against McKee.
He's been right. Okay. He's been striking distance every time, but McKee just comes back on him every time. Ayala's got the Fabian Gutierrez out the gate, who I believe is the SoCon champ. I think I'm expecting him to win that one, and then he gets returning NCAA finalist Brandon Courtney should he beat Columbia's Joe Manchio. Another thing we expect. Look, man, I was like, I thought Ayala could have made the Big Ten finals last weekend. He was right there to upset Barnett.
Yeah, he would lose 4-3. Yeah, that was a match. He lost 4-3. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, off the late escape. So He's solid, man. Iowa's obviously in the chase for this national title, and him getting on the podium is going to be how they're able to get over the hump. But man, I really think he could be Brandon Courtney. I'm calling the upset second round, him over Brandon Courtney, and then that would
And then you're going him over Killian?
Because Killian, if the way I have it, Killian would meet Malik in the round of 16. And I just like the way Killian Cardinale's wrestling right now. Another returning All-American. Yeah, I would take him over Killian. I would take him over. So you got Iowa, Michigan in the semis, Soriano, Ayala. And if Ayala's on, man, Soriano's my pick to go to the national finals. 100%, no doubt. Soriano.
Crazy picks right away.
Soriano's my pick to go to the national finals. But if Ayala's the Drake Ayala that we know he can be, because he's super, and you get these freshman performances, whether it's the Nico Megaludises, Matt McDonough's of the world. He's very capable of replicating that type of stuff. I could see him punching his way into the semis. Then I'd have him losing to Soriano in a close one. On the backside of this, I got Patrick Glory versus Vito Aruja in the semifinals. These guys, I think, are in their college careers 4-4 against each other. They split this year. Vito put it on him in the EIWA finals. Yeah. But even with that performance, man, I feel like they very well could flip. It could go right back to being close. Vito said what he said after the match. Not mad at that at all. I've been knowing Vito since he was a little kid, back when his brother Nick was lighting it up in New York.
What did he say after the match? I missed that.
He talked about the dual meet match with that he had lost, and it's just like that performance wasn't indicative of who I am as a wrestler and whatnot. I mean, I ain't mad at it, because when you win, he ended up winning, I believe, 19-5. And he poured it on. When you win like that, you're allowed to talk that way. But I think
he looked great. He looked great.
I don't think that their semis match is gonna be like, a beat down from either of them. I think it's gonna be close. I've been saying I believe Patrick Glory is gonna be your national champion all year.
Yeah, are you sticking with that?
I believe whoever comes out of this finals is gonna win in this semis is gonna win it. And
the bottom side.
Yeah, and I've been saying Pat Glory. I love Vito. His dad was my coach at Nassau, but I've been saying I think Glory's gonna win it all year. Dubuque is my guy too. I'm gonna go. Pat Glory, you're Princeton's first national champion since I believe the 1950s at 125 pounds.
So I see. I guess I see the bracket playing out differently. I do have Killian Cardinale making the semifinals, as well as I actually think they stay true to their seeds, right? They both make the the quarterfinals. I have Brandon Courtney beating Cardinale, Soriano beating Courtney, and then this is where things get shaky for me. Maybe a homer pick, right? But I see Camacho beating Glory.
Okay.
I've seen it done before. I've seen Camacho beat him before. I think he's going to do it again. And I see Camacho beating Vito in the semifinals, and he had a tough match with Vito, year and some change ago in a freestyle match. I think it's going to be different this time. I think Camacho is on a stride. I think he's gonna beat Vito, and I see him in the finals with Soriano. And if I got him this far, I got him beating Soriano as well. So I'm taking Camacho the whole way.
Look, you can call him
my dark horse.
Camacho's very capable of a dark horse. I believe that if the NCAA championships weren't canceled in 2020, he was on such a hot streak that I'm right there. He would have been able to make a run that year. He's very capable. I'm not mad at that at all. If we're talking dark horses, because we said we were going to do that too. Yeah. Camacho's obviously one of my dark horses to do something here. I think Brody Teske from UNI, this is his last ride. I don't really have him doing much on the front side, especially where he's at. Like, he's going to have a tough match for first round against Noah Certain, another all Big 12 there. But, Teske's been solid, and I think he's been coming on late. He's another guy I would have as a dark horse. I already said Drake Ayala is my big time dark horse. And then it's weird to call Pat McKee a dark horse as a returning All-American, especially with what he's been able to accomplish last weekend and last year. But he is the 8th seed, and I believe he'll finish a lot higher than that. And I think Drew Hildebrandt should at least, at worst, like we said, around the 12 guy. But I think he should be able to get back on the podium.
Yeah, I think they need to figure out seeding for these big tournaments. But yeah, no, I agree. I think Hildebrandt's at least around the 12 guy.
Let's go ahead and hit up to 133 now.
Our picks are in.
Huh?
You got Glory going all the way.
I got Glory going all the way. Camacho. So neither of us got.
We both have a guy coming down from the bottom side. Whoever comes out of the bottom side, we think is going to win.
Yeah, look at that. Nick Soriano's been ranked first in the country all year since the announcement was made he was coming back and wrestling for Michigan. Neither of us are picking Nick Soriano. No disrespect. But it is what it is, man. We could very well be wrong. This time of year we could definitely be wrong. I think some crazy things happen. We could also be right. So you guys are good. I'm gonna say some stuff and people are gonna look at me wild, but it is what it is, man. Let's go ahead and move on to 133. I guess first round. You want a matchup one matchup up here on the top side that sticks out to me first round is Brian Courtney versus Rayvon Foley. Courtney hasn't had the college success that you would expect him to, but he comes from a solid pedigree with what he was able to do in high school.
Kid.
Super, super solid. Foley's your returning All-American, albeit at 125 pounds. I'm gonna pick Foley in that one, but I would just say watch out for Brian Courtney. Like we said, crazy stuff happens in March. That's definitely one that catches my eye. Cody Russell and Mickey Philippi catches my eye too, man. I don't think Philippi hasn't wrestled his best. Philippi's done some amazing stuff in the regular season, but just hasn't really wrestled his best once it's the big dance comes around. So again, another one. Well, I'll pick the higher seeded guy, but that's another one that I believe that we should watch out for. Gliva. Nah, I'm not gonna do that. Forget that one.
I like the if I could throw one in there. I like the Dylan Ragusin and Malik Hines match. I know I got Ragusin winning, but I think whenever that guy Malik Hines is on the mat, you could expect something crazy to happen. He
just hasn't been able to wrestle much this year because he hasn't been able to step on. He hasn't been able to step on the mat. He didn't. I believe he didn't even really. He took the forfeits at EIWAs, and that just tells me he's dealing with something serious. I'm taking Ragusin in that one too. We know how good Malik Hines is. He was the EIWA champ last year.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't come in hurt against a guy like Dylan Ragusin. He's going to hit you with so much stuff. That's a dangerous match to wrestle if you're not close to healthy. But I agree because we know how good Malik Hines is. Hey, the All ACC first round match between Kyle Ryan and Joseph Heilman is definitely something to look out for too. Kyle Ryan can throw the kitchen sink at you. He's definitely a guy who's super fun to watch. Yeah. I actually don't know how if they met at ACCs and how that one shaked out, but again, this is March. Crazy stuff happens, and I'm a guy that's if you're a guy who can hit big moves, I'm usually going to pick you every time. So I would pick Kyle Ryan over Heilman, but he would have the Dayton fix right after that.
Yeah, I agree. I got Kyle Ryan. I think it's Oreen, some Kyle Ryan.
Oreen.
These names messed me up, but yeah, I got Kyle winning that match.
Lucas Bird. Well, no, that's more of a second round for me. Chris Cannon and Mcdougall are another one that's definitely going to be a good one to watch. Mcdougall's been super solid in the postseason. Was able to kind of replicate what he did in the Big 12 tournament last year. He wasn't an AQ guy, but was able to steal a spot. That's just another one I would check out there.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, let's start talking about who moves forward. Who do you got? Quarterfinals, top side.
See Roman, the defending national champ, Roman Bravo Young, man. I don't really see him having too much. He'll probably wrestle Dom LaJoy from Cornell first round after he comes out of that pigtail with Zaccone from Campbell. Then I think he'll wrestle Hayden Drury, a 17-16 matchup in the first round. That could go either way, but I like the way Drury looks. So I would have him over Drury in the second round. Then Camacho, I believe, was the EIWA champ at 133 pounds, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But this kid, Adasuv, I don't know if I'm saying his name right. Adasuv from Iowa State.
Yeah, Ramazan.
Super solid, man. And when he reminds me of All-American, Hofstra All-American Steve Bonanno. Like when he grabs your wrist, like it's gonna be hard for you to get away.
Yeah.
That's like potential upset watch for me in the first round. I'm actually gonna take Adasuv over Camacho, and then I'll take Foley over him. So I got Roman, a Big Ten quarterfinal with Roman over Foley. Roman moves on to the semis. On the bottom half, you've got number 4 seed Corbin Myers. Second round, I would have him against Hudgens. Corbin Myers beats Hudgens, in my opinion. Then, Philippi and DeSanto in the second round. DeSanto is just, it hasn't really been very competitive with Philippi at all.
No.
DeSanto versus Corbin Myers, that would be a rematch of the third place match from a year ago. I'll take Austin DeSanto to move on. I've been catching a little look, Roman is my guy. I'm putting forefront right now. I'm picking Roman Bravo Young to win a national title. I was watching FRL this morning and they were breaking down the brackets too. And Ben Askren just kind of was like, there's no chance at all that Austin DeSanto will beat Roman Bravo Young. All I'm saying is they wrestled twice this year. It almost looked like DeSanto was about to take him out in Carver. And then the match in the Big Ten finals was close as well, although Roman was in control of that late. I'm not going to sit here and say there's no chance. Now, again, I'm picking Roman Bravo Young to be the national champion in 2022 at 133 pounds, but I would not sleep on that.
I'm going Ben Askren. There is no chance. Game fix minus a, in match. God forbid, knock on wood, injury. There's no way DeSanto beats Roman. I got Roman, winning a controlled match. I mean, I know there's matches are close, but and no point in any of their matches within the last year, from the duel all the way to the duel where DeSanto forfeited out to the national championships to this year, to this national championship, did I ever feel he was in danger.
Right.
And obviously having a little insight talking to him, he feels the same way. He didn't really feel in danger of losing that match. And obviously just watching the matches without any insight, it doesn't look like he's uncomfortable in those situations. Even with DeSanto, it looks like I agree, more comfortable with DeSanto on his legs. And I think that's actually worse. It's worse, and he just worse position for DeSanto. And he's kind of got him figured out. I don't see him with Ben. I don't see him. I don't know how DeSanto beats him.
I agree. He has looked very comfortable every time he's been on his legs. It's weird because I feel like both sides have adjusted really well to what the other does. Every time that they've come out there and wrestled, like you definitely saw it in the match at Iowa. When they went out and wrestled, I feel like maybe Roman, and I could be completely wrong on this. Correct me because you're a lot closer to the situation than I am. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if Roman was maybe ready for some of the stuff that Iowa was bringing that night, just because they hadn't wrestled in a while. So that could have played a part. And then Big Ten finals match, I don't think he was in danger at all. But when you have matches that are close like that, that's why I'm always just. Again,
you're saying there's a chance because they're within striking range.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I got Roman getting to the NCAA finals.
I got the same semifinals, by the way. I got DeSanto beating Corbin Myers, Roman beating DeSanto, and then now we go on the bottom side here.
On the bottom side, give me a second. That was 25. On the bottom side, you got.
Wait, let's talk about this first. McGee is the 3rd seed. I'm not mad at it. The reason why I'm not mad at it is because they're gonna end up wrestling back, and DeSanto's gonna end up beating him and probably taking 3rd. And so I don't think it's that big of a deal. But I do think I don't think McGee's the 3rd seed. I think DeSanto beats him handedly. I think DeSanto beats him by 4 points or more. when they wrestle.
I think everybody's on the same page with this. You know, that's kind of been like the big consensus with this whole thing that you know, DeSanto is the one that should be the 3 seed. But I'm 100% with you on that. You know, I feel like if it was flipped and McGee's the 5 and DeSanto's the 3, and obviously DeSanto's ceiling was the 3, that they both probably, well, I'm not gonna, it's not a given McGee makes the semis with Corbin Myers as his quarter. I'm gonna shock you with some stuff that I say once we get ready to break that down too. But at the end of the day, I feel like at least one of the DeSanto gets to the semis regardless of which side he's on, and he's losing to either the 1 seed or the 2 seed, even though those matches have been close.
That's why I'm not as upset. I agree with that. That's why I'm not as upset with it. But I obviously want to know what formula they have to come up with the decision to put DeSanto as the 4 seed opposed to the 3rd seed.
I guess they have this matrix where they go by like coaches rank. I think the media rankings might play a part in that too, and then like a point system.
That's another thing. Like why are coaches ranking kids?
See, this has been a big conversation.
Another conversation for another time. But I mean, like, what's going on here? Well, if I don't like this coach, I'm not going to rank his kid as high as, you know, higher. I'm not going to help. You know, obviously, I'm not going to help an opposing team in maybe my conference or It just doesn't make any sense.
Well, not even just that. These are head coaches on this committee. You know how much is you're a head coach of a high school team. You know how much is on your plate just as a head coach of a high school team. Now imagine being a head coach of a Division I university. You have a lot of stuff on your plate aside from just coaching guys up every weekend. You're dealing with administration, you know, recruiting, this stuff over here. That these coaches don't even really have enough time to be able to rank these kids.
Are you saying how much effort you think they're putting into ranking the kids? Is that your?
I think that could play a part in it. There's a lot. Yeah. Look, there's, you know, conversations for another day. There's a lot of stuff that's went down this postseason that are going to be, that should be talking points once the NCAA season is over. And this is for sure one of them.
Yeah. All right, we can move on. I know if we get into this selection, it'll be the whole show.
On the bottom half, you got Michael McGee, your 3 seed. I got him moving on over Richie Kohler from Ryder. He'll take on Kyle Biscaglia of Northern Iowa. Look, I think that could potentially be upset watch. I'm going to take McGee, but, you know, Biscaglia is tough, man. Biscaglia is tough, and I don't know if he's going to, you know, those Arizona State guys really like to go to the collar a lot. That's like their bread and butter. That was a big reason McGee was able to do what he did to Dylan Ragusin when they had the duel out here in Austin.
Yeah, he dominated.
Yeah. I don't know if Biscaglia is going to give that to him. With that being said, you know, people are going to probably be like, why you talking all this upset watch stuff and stuff?
Are you going Biscaglia over?
I'm not.
Oh, I'm not. I almost had to stop you.
I got McGee moving into the quarters.
Okay.
And I have him meeting Dylan I got that thing going chalk where McGee and Dylan Ragusin, your 3 and 6 seeds, meet in the quarters. Get ready for this, KD, because this is March. This is March, and crazy stuff happens in March. And I just said at 125, when you got a guy that can hit you with something from anywhere, he's dangerous, and crazy stuff happens in March. I know what McGee did to Dylan Ragusin. I was there. I was front row. I think Dylan Ragusin's going to the semis. Dylan Ragusin is wrestling on Friday night against Dayton Fix.
Wow. I'm gonna disagree. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna put a halt to the party. I have McGee. I have McGee making it there. I think, you know, ASU does a good job of getting their guys ready for the NCAA tournament. And I got McGee beating Ragusin. I don't think, the one thing I will say, I will agree with you, is I think it's going to be a completely different match than what we saw back in that duel, that flow duel with ASU and Michigan. I do believe it's going to be a lot closer. I think it's going to be 1-2 point match, but I'm taking McGee. I'm taking McGee to wrestle Fix in that semifinal match. And on the bottom side, I think it's going to be Lucas Bird, Fix in the quarters to make the semifinals. I think it's going to be a lot closer than what people think. But I got Fix winning that match. And then obviously Fix making the finals versus Roman. Got a rematch of last year's finals.
If Fix goes 0-3 in the NCAA finals, he's like, even though he's still got more eligibility, he's officially like one of the greatest to never win it. And I can't even think of the last time we had a guy.
Not that it's not folk style, but I mean, like, didn't he just take like second in the world? I know it's completely different style, but I mean, like,
that's the thing though, man. Like if folk style and freestyle aren't the same. I remember like, because I was kind of on it, like, oh, he beat him over the sun. Like Anthony Colica was an All-American for Oklahoma State. And then you had Brandon Sorensen, a multiple-time All-American for Iowa. Colica was able to get over the hump with him over the summer in a freestyle tournament. I'm like, oh, Colica already beat him. You know, he can get him. And then folk style is a different game, man.
No,
even when the takedowns are on the feet and stuff, it's still a different game. And you know, Roman is one of, if not the best scramblers in the country. So he doesn't have to worry about, you know, getting scored on because he's rolling over his back and whatnot. I still don't know if Dayton and the Oklahoma State staff are truly prepped for that stuff that they're going to be able to bring. That's why I got to go back to back.
I think Roman is very similar to a guy like Yanni, who's in different styles, right? But similar in the sense of he's a guy who's very hard to prepare for. And I think I don't think Dayton is going to get past Roman. I got Roman winning it, as I think you do as well. I think I got Roman taking that one.
Yeah. As far as like dark horses go, guys that could really do some stuff here, Kyle Ryan, you agree? Something in my opinion there. I think Anthony Madrigal has potential to do it. Lucas Bird for sure. So I like Lucas Bird's the 7th seed. I have him like outperforming his seed, but not by much. I think he can wrestle in that 5th, 6th place. Exactly.
Yep, that's where I got him.
You know.
Yep.
So there's that.
Like, I wouldn't be shocked to see him beat a Corbin Myers. Like that wouldn't be out of like. I would not be like, wow, he just beat Corbin Myers. I can't believe that. Like I could see him. You know what? I could even see him in the 3rd and 4th place match. I can't see him picking up.
He was right there at the Big Tens.
Yes, I like him for a 4th through 8th place finish.
I'm with you 100% on that. On the top side, I already said how I feel about Brian Courtney, Mickey Philippi. You know, he's like, he's a guy that like, because you know he's always been right there. You got those types of guys. You're like, man, I hope he does get on the podium. He's gonna be in a tough spot, but he could do some stuff. Another guy like super solid. He's a super senior because he had that time at Virginia, and then he got his eligibility back. Then COVID happens, and they give them an extra year eligibility there. So very seasoned. So
yes, he's got experience.
Yeah, he could do some stuff. But those are my dark horses at 33.
So we both have Roman taking it. And you said who's your dark horse?
I had a couple.
Just one.
Just like if I had to pick just one gun to my head. Yeah. Lucas Bird.
I'm with you.
No, you know what? Dylan Ragusin. Because again, I can't not pick against those guys that are always in a match and dangerous from anywhere.
I'm going Lucas Bird. My dark horse there.
All right. I'm only saying that because you know what I've been saying. Like when you can hit a guy from anywhere, like I would not be shocked at all if Dylan Ragusin made the NCAA finals because he just hit a big move to pin everybody that was in his way. You know, not that obviously that's not my pick. We already said we got a rematch of last year's finals, but he's my dark horse for that specific reason.
Okay. I like it.
141 pounds. You know what sticks out to me for first round?
What's that?
Current Buckeye versus the former Buckeye. Dylan D'Amelio versus Quinn Kinner. Quinn Kinner, highly ranked recruit coming out of high school, was actually doing really well for Ohio State at 133 pounds, but he just couldn't hold it. It was definitely too much of a cut. You could see it.
Was he somewhere? Quinn Kinner was somewhere before Ohio State.
He was at Ohio State.
I'm almost positive he was at NC State for a while.
He was not
for that long, but he was committed.
He was committed to NC State. His older brother was at NC State. He was committed to NC State, then backed out of his commitment and ended up at Ohio State.
Okay, but he was supposed to be somewhere else. Okay, so I'm not going crazy.
No.
Okay.
he had that little bit of time at 33, too much of a pull. He ends up actually wrestling at 157 pounds for Ohio State for a little bit. Anywhere you can get in. He wasn't terrible there, obviously the weight class, he's not a 57 pounder, but he was serviceable when they needed him there. Then we hadn't heard from him in a couple years. He's from that same class as Sammy Sasso. We hadn't heard from him in a little bit. And then all of a sudden he makes the announcement that he's going back home to Jersey. He's going to wrestle for Ryder. He was able to win a MAC championship.
Wow.
I got Quinn Kenner. It's a 17-16 matchup. So it's not really, it's not an upset because Quinn Kenner's the 16th seed. I got Kenner getting one over his former team, but then unfortunately he's got Nick Lee. We'll get into that. We'll get into that a little bit later. We're looking at these first round matchups. Then right underneath that, you got Alan Hart of the Missouri against Stevan Meach. It's the Big 10 versus Big 12 matchup. I never really, everybody's saying now that like Stevan just looks limited, like he's not right, he's not hurt. He never really had time to like get acclimated to 141 pounds.
Weight class, yeah.
He was wrestling 125 at the Olympics just this past summer, so he didn't really have time to get acclimated. And when I'm looking at him, he doesn't really look like a 41 to me. What he was able to do at Big Tens to get all the way back to the third place match after losing his first match to Parker Phileas was definitely admirable. I just, excuse me, I don't really see him doing much. It would be on paper, it's a big upset, and it's big. Michigan's in this team race too, so
consider a big upset. But I think he's at 41. I imagine there has to be, like you just mentioned, the team race. Like if they have him down at 33, now you lose out on a tough Ragusin, right? So where does Ragusin go? Because Ragusin's too small.
He's got a red shirt. He's got a red shirt.
So, you could have. I guess you could have redshirted him, right?
Yeah, he's got a.
Don't you want? Not knowing the results that Meachis was going to get, right? You have. I think you have to. And this is their year, right? This is their year to do it. If there's any year they could ever do it, this is the year, right? So, I think it was a team move. And it may have,
But he wants to compete at 65 kilos. So it just made the most sense.
Yeah, I don't think going up was obviously hasn't worked out for him yet, but I think for the Michigan team, I think it was the best, it gives them the best chance to win a national title, having Meachis do something at 41 before obviously knowing, how it would play out.
Yeah. I don't like this matchup for him though. Alan Hart's really solid on top.
Hart's really good.
We're talking about a guy that I think we agree. We both don't really think he's acclimated well to this weight class. And then you're going up against a guy like Alan Hart. I think if Alan Hart gets on top, like that's probably all she wrote. He might be able to survive all three periods, but I don't really. I unfortunately would. I think this is bad.
I don't have Meachis either. I have Alan Hart. Meachis has not looked good this year. I agree with you. I got Alan Hart taking that one.
Yeah. So we're both on that one. Grant Willetts versus Cora Young is an interesting one to me. I'll take Willetts though. Carter Young, no pun intended, is young, and I think Willetts just might be a little too much for him. Now here's one. The 5 seed, Andrew Alvarez. Alvarez has been solid his whole career in Northern Colorado. This guy was a 49-pounder.
Yeah.
Wasn't able to wrestle at the NCAAs last year, even though he was a qualifier. Colin Girardi, a 28 seed, but super solid guy. I'll take Alvarez over him.
Yeah.
Drog Mueller from North Dakota State's tough. Man, this is a good bracket. Ian Parker versus Parker Phileas first round. That's a fun one. I'll have my eyes glued to that one too. I believe this is Parker's last shot to get it done. Ian Parker, not Parker Phileas. So I'll take the 13 seed to move on over the 20 seed. You got Real Woods, your 4 seed against Mcdougall. Another really good match, KD. Mcdougall's a young guy, but he's definitely super solid.
Yeah, I've watched him for a long time. He was up in the Northeast, up in New Hampshire guy, I'm pretty sure. He's been tough. He's been tough for a long time. I don't have him winning that match. I have Real Woods taking that one, but he's tough. That's a tough match.
Definitely. On the bottom side, we got Sebastian Rivera, your 3 seed against Jacob Butler, who's been super good, very good for Oklahoma. 4-time All-American Chad Red is your 19 seed. He goes up against Dresden Simon from Central Michigan, the 14 seed. Chad Red lost to Dresden Simon at the NCAAs last year. He didn't look very, very good to me at Big Tens. I don't know what's going on there. He's a guy that can turn it on when it's time to turn it on, but it's just possible that Simon might not be the best matchup for him based on what we saw last year at Nationals. It could be different. Last year people weren't allowed in the building. Now you got fans, and I heard that there's not even a mask mandate for the Nationals, so it can get real loud up in there. You know what I mean?
That's great news.
Definitely.
Put the mask away.
we're all in. We're all in on it. I don't know. I'm very torn on this, man. I guess my head says Simon, but
I'm Chad Red.
My gut says Chad Red.
I'm going Chad Red. Senior last year. I'm going Chad Red.
I'll take it. You might have talked me into it because I'm really fringed on this because, man, when he's hot, he's hot. But then I don't know. Simon might not be the best matchup. I'll go Red. I'll take Red.
I'm going Chad Red, yeah.
Oh, anything else in the first round that sticks out? Kayson Clark versus Ryan Jack. Kayson Clark versus Ryan Jack. That's a
repeat.
Oh, how'd that one go?
So Ryan was down, I'm pretty sure 3-2. And ended up taking him down with like 2 seconds left out of bounds, or like a second left, and then wrote him down for the second one. Ended up winning that match with the last second score. I think we're going to kind of see more of the same. I think, if we look at the Jack history, they seem to have, they seem to do work at the NCAA tournament. I like Jack's chances. I'm going to take Jack pretty far here, but we'll get into that.
Let's do it now because I got some stuff for you, man.
Okay, so
can I give him a story? Can I give him a story?
Yeah, let's hear it.
We were at we went to the collegiate duels out in Florida.
Yes.
Me, you, my dad, we were with the whole NC State game. The Iowa NC State match was nuts. It was
the duel of the year.
Arguably, no. You know what? Forget that. That was the duel of the year, man.
I mean, what's the other choices?
Man, I don't know. Penn State, Iowa was fun, but the thing is, we were at that duel. We weren't just watching it. So that atmosphere was nuts. It was crazy. That match was more the Penn State versus Arizona State followed that, and it didn't even compare. That thing was insane.
I think when you had that match to lead off, and then it's coming down to like the last two matches. You know what I mean? It just makes it makes it tough to, obviously you're into that ASU versus Penn State match every time it happens, right? There's always drama in that match. Mm-hmm. ASU pretty sure taking the last time they wrestled in Tempe. So, but I mean, that match was insane. That was so fun to be there. It was a crazy match. And there was a lot of crazy, just crazy results that you probably maybe wouldn't have expected going into the duel. But
I'll tell you what, man, you were all in on Ryan Jack, and people were like, "Oh, that's his guy. He's biased." I was sitting there like, "Man, there's no way Ryan." I don't even think Ryan Jack's looked that great this year. Jaden Ironman is,
And you know what? At the time, you were right. He hasn't. But I think the one thing about the Jacks, they are gamers, right? Kevin's a gamer. You saw it when he beat Jeva, and then he just got his red shirt pulled last second, beat Jeva, beat Devin Carter, ended up placing as a true freshman. I like Ryan Jack's chances. I think he beats. Here we go. Here's my pick. I think he beats Clark, and then I think he beats Ironman. I heard. I'm hearing a lot of rumors about Ironman being injured. I'm taking Jack over Ironman. Jack looked good against him when he was what would seem to be a full 100%.
That was a fall. It was a fall. It was a fall.
Like a healthy Ironman, and I'm gonna take Jack here, and I got Jack into the quarterfinals against Clay Carlson, and I got him beating Clay Carlson to make the semifinals and All-American.
So check this out, man. I'm hearing the same exact rumors that you are. He should have beat Jaden Ironman in the duel. That he got hosed. That was a fall. And not only was it a fall, but he gave Jaden Ironman a complete nightmare matchup. He was getting to his legs at will. He was finishing. I'm like sitting there like,
He wasn't scared to be there. A lot of guys are scared to be there with Jaden Ironman. You know, you get into Jaden Ironman's,
especially for
Jaden Ironman's leg, and it's not a fun place to be, right? You're
for
getting
a
scored on,
freshman,
you're getting cradled, you know?
Yeah, and for a freshman, because we know he's dangerous from anywhere. This guy pinned Yanni when they were freshmen. And for Jack, who's a freshman himself, to not be scared to get in dangerous positions with a dude who's known to score points on you from anywhere, that said a lot. So we're talking about a healthy Jaden Ironman was in a nightmare match with Ryan Jack. What is it? The rumor is his AC, he tore his ACL.
Yeah, something with the he tore his ACL or something with his knee. I'm not completely sure. But I think now's not the time. He's a senior, he might be packing it up. And I think Ryan, gets in his face and makes it kind of an an ugly match, and he gets the better environment. I think he beats him. I really do.
This is the first of like what I feel like could be like bad things for Iowa for a national championship weekend. I got Jack over him too. Like the fact that he should have beat him and was just really on him when he was healthy, and now you have a devastating injury and you're wrestling a guy like that again. Not easy. So we both have the number 2 seed losing on Thursday night.
Wow, you have Ryan Jack.
I got Ryan Jack, man. I
haven't beaten Clark and then beating Ironman.
I got to beat it both. I'm with you 100% on that. I got the 18 seed. We both got the 18 seed in the quarters. Clay Carl. Yeah. Hey, don't sleep on Jacob Berglund though from Minnesota. This dude's he's paid his dues.
Yeah. It's tough.
He was there for this. He's a 5th-year senior, I believe, and finally gets his shot, and he places at the Big Ten to qualify. He's tough, man. I wouldn't sleep on him against Clay Carlson. I'll take Clay Carlson against Ryan Jack. I think that the Carlson-Jack match is going to be close, but I'll take Jack to move on into the semis. Freshman All-American,
freshman All-American,
just like his older brother.
Yep.
Seabass is another guy who's not healthy, man. But I don't know if he seemed like I was watching him at Big Ten. He seemed like he had the brace on, but he seemed like he was still moving well. So I don't think it's that bad. We don't know exactly what's wrong with him. And it sucks that happens to you at the end of the year. Literally the last match of the year. But he moved well. I got him versus Chad Red. Now, look, if the injury is really bad, like really bad, Chad Red goes to the quarters. But if it's not too serious, which I suspect, I got Rivera moving on to the quarters against. I got Casimir from Columbia, EIWA champ, getting moving on, and then going up against Cole Matthews from Pitt. I think that one's going to be a close one, and any of those two can come out of that.
Don't sleep on that Shanahan from Campbell. I think he could do some work too. I think he's a guy who could. I actually got Shanahan versus. That's who I'm picking. I got Shanahan versus
Matthews. Zargo's tough too. Didn't Zargo get a big? Was it Zargo that got a big win towards the end of the year during the?
I don't recall. I'm not sure exactly.
It might have been. I'm almost tempted.
But I don't have him beating Cole Matthews though.
All right,
without the win, I don't have him beating Cole Matthews. I have Cole Matthews versus Shanahan. I got Cole Matthews winning that match, and Rivera beating Shanahan to make the semifinals. Rivera beating Cole Matthews to make the semifinals.
Right. So we would have Rivera versus Ryan Jack. I really think that's going to happen too, man. Like I'm ready to stake a claim on that. It's Ryan Jack versus.
I'm in. I'm all in.
Chips are in. I wish I had a button that says we're locking it down, but I don't.
Locking it in. Ryan Jack, semifinalist versus Rivera.
Oh man, on the top half, you got I have Real Woods against Alirez. I got Real Woods against Alirez in the quarters. I think that's going to be a fun match, but I like the way Alirez looks right now. I got Alirez against Nick Lee in the semis. I got Nick Lee over Quinn Kenner in the quarters. I think Quinn Kenner is going to be one of those stories of the weekend, to be honest with you. A guy, on his way back, and I think he'll All-American, to be honest with you. Nick Lee versus Alirez. Nick Lee over Alirez. and then I'll take Nick Lee versus Sebastian Rivera in the finals, and you're not going to agree with this. Sebastian Rivera has been just throttling everybody that's been in front of him, and he stepped out every time. I think we're all pissed off that we didn't get to watch him wrestle either Nick Lee or Jaden Ironman this season. These were the three contenders all year round. And we saw Nick Lee and Sebastian Rivera wrestle last year, and those matches were close. You can look at the score in the semis and nationals a year ago. And the only reason why I got away from him was because he got desperation mode late in the match and he put himself to his back. I think this is the year, man. I think this is the year for Sebastian Rivera, and he adds another national champ over there. It makes it three national champs in Rutgers history this weekend. I'm pretty sure you're not going to agree with me, though.
I'm not going to agree, not because I don't think he's going to beat Nick Lee.
You think
I don't think he's going to make it. I don't think he's going to make it to the finals. I said, listen, I know this is another homer pick, right? There's a lot of rumor out there saying Sebastian Rivera is injured. There's a lot going on with him, and he's the guy who's wrestled all year. So the fact that he sat out at the Big Tens, says something, because he's a guy. His dad's awesome. He comes from an awesome family, and they're all about wrestling. And to see him sit out, there must be something serious going on. You know what I mean? He would not sit out with a tweak ankle. He wrestles. The kid wrestles. He missed no matches. He showed up to the Penn State duel where Nick Lee didn't wrestle him. I'm pretty sure he showed up to Iowa where Ironman didn't wrestle him. Is that correct?
Yeah.
He didn't wrestle Ironman this year.
He did not wrestle Ironman this year. Did they meet in a duel?
I think Ironman didn't show up to the duel. I may be incorrect, but I'm thinking Ironman didn't show up to the duel. So he's a guy who I believe would wrestle if he was healthy. I don't think he's healthy. I'm gonna take Jack. I'm gonna take the Jack Luck, the March Jack Luck, and have Ryan Jack versus Nick Lee in the finals.
Okay. Look, man, these guys aren't healthy, and then Jack is that dude, man. I am not mad at that one at all. I'm over here on WrestleStat just trying to make sure, because I wasn't even sure if Iowa wrestled Rutgers in the duel.
Well, don't they have to? Don't all the Big Ten?
There's so many teams in the Big Ten that you can't get all these guys to get at each other in one dual meet season. Yeah, I don't think that Iowa met them in the duel, but we were all hoping for it at Big Tens and just didn't get it. But I'm not mad at KD. I'm not mad at those. You got any dark horse?
I really believe there's something going on with Sebastian Rivera. He's a guy who wrestles every match. You know what I mean? He really does. The guy's always out there wrestling. And he's not. Why wasn't he wrestling at Big Tens? It's just raises a red flag.
He wrestled all the way to the semis and then defaulted out.
But why? What's the benefit in that? He still ended up the third seed to, what?
I guess because you put on a brace. Obviously, there's something going on. Yeah. But he still looked like he was moving around pretty fine. I guess you wrestling a guy like Ironman too, which is weird because now I'm wondering, like, did they know that Ironman tore his ACL? That's an interesting one. But I would understand if there's something going on. Clearly, there's something going on. You wouldn't want to make it worse by wrestling a guy like Jaden Ironman. I get,
but I agree with you. I think a healthy, and obviously, even an unhealthy Sebastian Rivera is hard to beat, right? So this is my pick. But I do believe, Sebastian, I do believe he's not healthy, and I think Ryan Jack's going to, sneak his way into the finals. And I think Nick Lee's going to be tough to beat. That's kind of where I have his, I think I have his road ending, but I do believe, I'm a betting man, and I am taking, if I had a bet, right, and Ryan Jack at this point is probably a plus 900. I am betting on Ryan Jack. I do have Nick Lee winning, but I'm putting money on Ryan Jack. I think Ryan Jack, he made it this far, he could do it.
Look, I'm with you on that. I am with you on that. My jaw would be intact. It would not drop if Ryan Jack made as the 18 seed, especially with circumstances, makes a run to the NCAA finals. And nobody else should be shocked. I'm gonna stick with my pick. I'm with you on that. We got
a great pick. So you have Rivera winning.
I got Rivera winning the whole thing.
So I have Nick Lee winning it all, but I think I believe Ryan Jack could do it. I'm sticking. You know what? I can't. Oh man, this is tough. I like Ryan Jack, man. I don't. Can I go Ryan Jack over Nick Lee?
Hey, you can do whatever you want. You can do. I want you to justify it, but you can do whatever you want.
Roman is screaming in the room. Stop being stupid. I'm going crazy here. He's
Shout out
screaming
Roman.
in the room. Stop being stupid. I got. Oh man, that's a tough one. I'm gonna go Nick Lee over Ryan Jack.
All right. What are some dark horses here for me? Obviously, Ryan Jack is the big dark horse that we just talked about him. You know, I got him making a run to the semis. You got him going to the finals. I think Quinn Kinner can get all the way to the quarters. I think Quinn Kinner's going to All-American. For me, it's really those two. And obviously, Ryan Jack's the big one because we both have him making a run to the semifinals.
No.
We got input from Romano.
National champ in the building. What's going on?
Can we get a buzzer for him? Can we get a buzzer?
You want a flex bomb or you want the
can we get a
horns?
flex spot?
A dark horse, not to win, but to place high. A dark horse, a place high, but not win the thing is Real Woods.
Real Woods.
Man, Real Woods can absolutely. I have Real Woods losing that. I have Real Woods losing that Alirez. But Real Woods is. We all know how good Real Woods is.
Well, I don't think I talked about that. I have Real Woods making the semifinals. I have him beating Alirez. I got too stuck on Ryan Jack.
Yeah.
And praying that he beats Nick Lee in the finals.
This dude is all homer picking NC State. Come on.
No.
Come on.
No. Ryan Jack's from my area. Yeah. I got Ryan Jack losing the finals. He's got Ryan Jack making it pretty far too.
He's got good circumstances, man. He's got good circumstances. Roman, feel free to pop in at all during this time. Anytime you want, man. We're all for it.
Yeah, get him in here.
I'll do the 165 since there's no Penn State guys.
All right, cool. I'm with it. We're all for it. Let's go. We got
the 165. This is cool. Good addition. Good last minute addition. I don't know if we could have asked for a better. Yeah, I don't know what you're saying.
What better, like who better to replace Uncle Tony with than Roman Bravo Young?
You can never replace Uncle Tony.
You can never replace Uncle Tony, but if you have to fill in, if you need a fill-in, if you need a fill-in.
Yeah, we'll take this for a fill-in.
It's a good consolation.
I agree.
149. 149 pounds. Off rip, man. Jared Deegan versus Willie Mcdougall. Willie Mcdougall, the New York State champion. Willie Mcdougall was third on Oklahoma's depth chart at 149 pounds this year. Mitch Moore has a concussion. Then Dom Demas also gets a concussion, and Willie Mcdougall gets thrust out there, and he gets some big wins, and it's like we got to ride the hot hand. So Willie Mcdougall goes from third string on Oklahoma's depth chart to a Big 12 finalist in NCAA qualifier. He's going up against Jared Deegan, a former All-American for Iowa State first round. I got Mcdougall in that one. That's your first one to watch. Second one to watch is Army's PJ Ogunsanya, who I'm pretty familiar with. My brother actually wrestled him when they were little guys at Fargo. He's taking on Caden Gefeller. I got Caden Gefeller winning that one, but I feel like that's one that you can't sleep on. Also, Max Murin versus Corbin Munson. Max Murin should absolutely win that one. He's wrestling very good, but I'm still. Do you think Max Murin's 100%?
I don't ever think the Iowa guys are 100%. I think I'm not. Obviously, it's hard to knock their training systems, but I don't love Iowa in the postseason as we come closer to NCAA's. I don't like Iowa. I don't know train or what the problem is, but it just seems like the guys are always have some type of injury. Whether it's an arm sleeve, a knee sleeve, a big knee thing. It's just what's going on over there. You know what I mean? They can't keep their guys healthy. If I had a bet on it, I would say there's something probably wrong with him.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I got one that I don't know how you're gonna feel about this, because I feel like it's another one to watch for the first round, and I feel like you're gonna like it because this is one of your guys, but also you're in State College.
Yep.
Colin Budo from Northern Iowa versus Bo Bartlett.
That's gonna be a good one.
Colin Budo, you would think wouldn't even be UNI starter because they had, I believe it was Tristan Lara over there. And Tristan Lara's in the transfer portal right now. I even said I thought Colin Budo would steal a spot, which he ended up doing. That's just another one.
He just loves wrestling, man. Colin's awesome. He's just, it comes from an awesome family and an awesome history, right? I mean, all of his. I mean, all of his brothers are state champ. I mean, Brian and Dylan are both state champs, and obviously Brian's a 3-time All-American national finalist. So. Colin fell in love with wrestling late, but he's tough, man. He's coming on at the right time. I wouldn't sleep on him.
Definitely. I mean, Bo Bartlett isn't a guy known for offense either, so I feel like that's definitely one to look out for there. And I mean, if he were to upset, that's definitely not good on Penn State. Shout out Johnny Arceri, man. I've been watching this dude since the Blue Wave days. If you're from Long Island. You know that one. He was always a guy I enjoyed watching over in the Suffolk County. He's got a tall task against that. I just wanted to shout him out. He's got a tall task against him, but it's just nice to see him here doing his thing. Fine Silver versus Yaya Thomas, I think is a fun one to watch. I'll take Thomas in that one, but we know those Fine Silvers are tough. I think Corey Crooks versus Jonathan Milner is another one to watch out for potential upsets. Crooks has been super solid for Oregon State. Milner, some people thought he could be a 3 seed here. Doesn't happen. Josh Heil versus Josh Edmonds. Heil, Austin Gomez, your 3 seed.
Josh Edmonds is fun to watch. Man. What match was that?
Manzona Bryant and him. Him and Manzona Bryant at the
Bryant might have been the match of the year.
Insane. Yes. Those guys were like, I was screaming at the ref because he's getting in the way. Those guys were just back and forth throwing each other. You didn't know what was going to happen.
Oh my God. I thought there was back points supposed to go one way. Then the next you look over,
it was never
the other guy's on his back. It's like, what is going on here?
It was never a lock, man. I do think him and Heil's got to stay away from those body locks, double legs and body locks. If he can stay away from that stuff, he's got potential. I got
Heil winning that match. He's too fundamental.
He's the 7th seed, He's the higher seed, so he should win. But Edmonds, we see him first. Edmonds could do some stuff.
If I had to pick a word for Edmonds, it'd be dangerous.
100%. I'll tell you what, man. Jay, we were talking about before we started the show. We were talking to Roman about certain guys and what they can do here. You got Jaden Abbas versus Ridge Lovett first round. I think that's a 49 by far is like one of the best brackets for first round matchups. Jaden Abbas.
I think Ridge Lovett. I think he controls that match. I am a fan of Ridge Lovett. I love watching Ridge Lovett wrestle. He's exciting to watch. I think, I have him controlling Jaden Abbas. And then I have him also beating Josh Heil to make.
I don't know which way to go on the Abbas Lovett match because, I'm going to get into a whole spiel about Yanni when we start to dig into this thing.
Yeah.
Abbas was right there with Yanni. I'm pretty sure Stanford thought that they were going to get some stall calls their ways in that match, but that one was close. So I agree with what Roman was saying, like as far as him being hit or miss. But if he's hitting, he can make a run here. But I'll go with you on that one. Ridge Lovett will win that match. Let's start digging into this one, man. I'm gonna go at the top.
You want to start the top or bottom?
I want to start at the top because I got some stuff. I think we're gonna be on the same page with this one.
Okay, I think this one's pretty easy.
So Yanni, if you ask anybody, they're all gonna tell you Yanni's gonna win this thing. So I got Yanni obviously going to the finals. I'll take him over Willie Mcdougall. Friday morning, I will take him over Caden Gefeller. And then Friday night, I'll take him to beat Sammy Sass. Although Sammy Sassel's been wrestling a lot of guys really close, man. So when he gets in a match, like in the quarter, I would expect him to see either Mikey Van Brill or Kyle Parko. Van Brill's is a dark horse for me here because another guy that can hit you with the kitchen sink. But Parko kind of came out of nowhere when he All-American for Fresno State last year. Either way, I got Sammy moving on, but I feel like you should watch out for who he wrestles in the quarters just because I feel like he's just been wrestling it too close to the belt. Yanni, when he wrestled Sammy, it just was like...
It was dominant.
It wasn't close.
Dominant. It wasn't close. I mean, like, it was...
He put a beating on him.
I'm with you on all this. I got Yanni making the finals on the top side. It won't be close. He is the kid is special, man. Yanni's unbelievable. He's special. He's special. I don't think he's gonna have a close one all the way up until the finals.
I'm with you 100% on that one. Also, man, some people here's something like I feel like if Yanni wins 140, I'm gonna wait till we get to the finals to say this. So we both got Yanni. We both got Yanni going to the finals. On the back half, Austin Gomez is your 3 seed. I got him beating Marshall Keller and then Yaya Thomas to make it to the quarters.
Yeah, Thomas winning too.
I got 149 bottom half is fire, man. I got Austin Gomez against Bryce Andonian Friday morning. And that one's going to be insane because those guys both like to throw. That one can go either way.
Yeah. I mean, who gives up that 5-point move?
I'm loving this Austin Gomez story though. I feel like Gomez is just a little more solid in those positions. What I am worried about with him is as far as like him matching up with some of these guys because who's that back there?
That's little Tony.
Hey, what's up, man?
Little Tony's in the house.
Little Tone's in the house. Love it. Man, I do worry about like how he matches up against an Andonian because of leverage. When you're going, because they're both going to go for those throws. So I'm wondering how successful he is against a guy of Andonian because of the stature. But I'll take him over Andonian. And now let me get into this one. Tariq Wilson. I want to give a shout out. It sucks that he's not here. My dad, Uncle Tony, has been on the. We've all been on the.
He is here. He's on the phone. We can get him on the phone. If that's
tell him to call. Call me right now. Call my phone right now.
We're at 149.
All right, you tell the viewers as we're doing this, let it be known that Uncle Tony's going with Tariq Wilson to win it at 49.
Let's go. Wow, that's
call my phone right now. Call my phone right now.
Let the viewers know. I just believe that the only guy that has the athletic ability, the wrestling prowess, and the maturity and the composure to get the job done, the only guy who got it is Tariq Wilson.
The only one to beat Yanni. The only one who could beat Yanni is
he's been on this thing for 2 years.
All the above things that I mentioned: his athletic ability, his length, his wrestling prowess, his discipline, his ability to wrestle up the body, leg attacks, and he's disciplined. Tariq's not going to go in there just throwing it and winging it. He's going to pick his spots. And I think he's going to he'll make Yanni have to come out of position and maybe attempt shots from far out. And he might put himself where go behind to be in the game. And I got Tariq Wilson. Richie, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Loud and clear.
Yeah, so my pick at 149 is Tariq Wilson. But let me start from the beginning. At 125, I got the Russian winning it at 25, which is Vito Aruja. The reason I say the Russian, because his style is half Russian, half American. and the only person that I know that could beat Soriano, because I think he's the only guy in the bracket that can actually take Soriano down and has proven it and has beat him in freestyle, got the country to take him down. And is Vito. And you're going to have to take Nick Soriano down to beat him. You're not going to beat Nick Soriano. If you can't take him down, you're not beating him in the 1-0, 2-1 match. You're not. So the only one who's going to beat him is Aruja. So I got Vito winning it at 25. I have Roman Bravo Young repeating as national champ at 33. At 141, who you picking at 41, Khalid?
I got Nick Lee.
At 141, that's a no-brainer. I got Nick Lee as well. Obviously, he's separating himself from the rest of the
Nick Lee over who? Nick Lee over who?
It's going to be hard to tell. I don't see Heilman. If Heilman's on the other side of the bracket, I actually don't know if he'll make it to the finals this year.
Do you want us to tell you who we picked?
You want to know who we picked? Who we picked to make the finals?
Well, I picked him to make the semis. Khalid picked him to make the finals.
Who'd you pick?
So me and Richie both picked Ryan Jack to make the semifinals over Ironman. He beating Ironman in the quarterfinals, second round, and then beating Carlson. Was that Clay Carlson
in the quarters?
Yep, Carlson.
Yeah, the kid from I think what is it? Not
South Dakota State.
No, South Dakota State. No, is it South Dakota State?
South Dakota State.
Yeah, South Dakota State. It's South Dakota State.
Yeah, South Dakota State. You know what? Listen to me. But let's be realistic. Listen, Ryan Jackson's
not healthy.
But listen, and I know what he did in that duel in Florida. But beating Ironman in a big show match, it's going to be hard for him to do. With all the life and his experience, Ironman's going to be a different wrestler. You're talking about Division I Nationals. When Ironman gets to that match against Ryan Jack, I don't see Ryan Jack being able to beat Heilman in that match.
What about the circumstances, though?
Listen, I'm just telling you from experience.
He doesn't know the circumstances.
He tore his ACL, supposedly.
He tore his ACL, Uncle Tony.
All right, so he tore his ACL. And let me tell you something. Spencer Lee won multiple national titles with 2 torn ACLs.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's not Spencer Lee. People said that before. He's not Spencer Lee.
I don't listen. I'm not going to go back and forth. I don't see Ryan Jack beating Ironman at 41. I see Ironman. Now, if Ironman gets to the semis, who else would be in the semis against him on that side of the bracket?
Sebastian Rivera, who's also rumored to be injured as well.
There you go, right there. I got Sebastian Rivera making the finals against Nick Lee, and Nick Lee beating Sebastian Rivera in the finals.
Okay, well, your son has it the other way. He has Sebastian beating Nick Lee.
Man, you know what? Listen, I won't knock my son's choice. My son's very knowledgeable. Richie knows his stuff. But I'm going to tell you something. You're talking about Nick Lee, who's the only guy who literally almost decapitated Yanni Dahakamahala, 16-8, the freestyle match. He is so good. He just keeps getting better. I mean, he already beat Sebastian Rivera the last time they wrestled.
But it's been close.
5 last year.
I think Yanni would have trouble in this bracket.
He would.
I think Yanni would have trouble making the finals of this bracket. It's gonna be hard to bet against him to make the finals of this bracket. But I think it's be hard. It's Yanni's. Sebastian Rivera is really, really good, and Nick Lee's really, really good. And Ironman's beaten Yanni before.
149 is a much easier bracket for Yanni to make the finals.
Yeah, I agree.
All 3 of us have Yanni cruising to the finals. Correct?
Yep.
Now we go to 157. Who's going to?
Well, hold on. We didn't finish 149. You came in at 149. So we all agree. Yanni's cruising to the finals, top half. I think, especially when we saw him do to Sammy. It's just a bad matchup.
Yanni's on the other side of the bracket of Tariq Wilson. I mean,
yeah, they're the 1 and 2 seeds.
Yeah, the 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I don't see anybody beating Yanni on that side. But you know what? Wait a minute. Who got Austin Gomez on the same side?
Tariq.
Also, so 149 on the back half is a lot more brutal. And I think if you go from Friday morning quarters, you get nothing but excitement. You get Austin Gomez versus, we believe, Bryce Andoni. Both of those guys, that's fireworks.
Man, why don't you come down? I'll fly you in because me and Big Baby are going.
Oh yeah, let's do it. Let's
go.
So get your flight. You're gonna have to get my son. No, you know what? I'll share a room with my son. If you want, Rich, I'll get you your own room. But get the flight. I'll pay for your flight.
Okay.
To Detroit,
This guy's talking about flights and stuff. Who do you have making the finals?
Well, wait. At 57?
No, 49. Who do you have?
I told you I have Tariq Wilson and Yanni Dahakamahala in the finals. That's my
Let-
prediction.
And Tariq winning.
I really wanted to break this one down though. So you got Andonian Gomez quarters.
Yes, I do.
The only thing I'm
Andonian got in the round. Who does that Andonian got in the round of 32 or the round of 16? Who does that?
Andonian would wrestle Max Bernola from Lehigh first round, and then he'd get the winner of Corey Crooks and Jonathan Milner.
From Lehigh, who does? McGonagall. McGonagall?
McDonald 41.
No. Oh, they got the black kid, Mosiah Bryant. He got from
No.
Ohio.
He didn't. He ended up not. I don't know if he got hurt or he just lost his wrestle off, but they ended up going with Max Bernola.
That kid's not messing around with. Those guys ain't messing with that kid.
Well, that's what we actually agree with you.
How about the kid? How about Parker from Arizona State? Who's Parker's team?
He's on Yanni's side.
Problem too.
It's Sammy Sasso versus Parko in his quarters.
All right, yeah. Sammy's too disciplined to lose to a kid like that.
He did almost lose to him last year though. In the I think it was the round of 16.
I know, but Sammy's a money wrestler. He's gonna come in when Sammy's gonna get when it matters. I mean, other than what Austin Gomez did to him, that's the first guy in years that have actually really just handled him in every position to win. I mean, it wasn't even close. The score might have been 7-4, but the score doesn't indicate, the disparity and how Austin Gomez handled that match. He handled it.
Completely controlled.
Yeah.
So I'm only worried about Gomez and Andonian as far as like leverage goes, because Andonian's a taller guy, but I'm picking Gomez.
We're gonna see both of them throw each other all around the place.
Exactly. I got Gomez coming out of it though.
I got Gomez and Tariq also in the semifinals.
So I think when it comes to Gomez and Tariq,
so we're talking about the brackets. They're doing the brackets, Richie and Khalid. So they asked me in the finals. I got Tariq Wilson winning. It's probably gonna be Yanni. I don't care. Tariq Wilson got what it takes. All right, I gotta go. I love you. I'm working.
All right. Appreciate it.
I got your Corey teamer coming through and winning it at 57. I don't care about Deegan.
All right, that's a homer pick. That's a Long Island homer pick.
I'll talk about that one right after.
Yeah.
I'll talk about that one right after.
Yeah.
Not a homer pick at all.
The Corey teamer is not going to win the NCAA tournament.
Hey, listen, I might convince you when we get to 57. Let's stick to 49 though. Shout out my dad, Uncle Tony. I'm gonna take Gomez to come out of that quarter against Andonian. He could go either way though. That's gonna be a launch show. We all agree. I think Tariq Wilson is a nightmare matchup for Austin Gomez. Tell me the last time you saw someone do to Bryce Andonian what Tariq Wilson did to Bryce Andonian.
I agree. I think Tariq is too disciplined to get in an exchange like that. He's not going to get caught up in the upper body. He's going to find his way out of it.
Here's the thing, Katie.
And he's comfortable there.
He can. When he was an All-American as a freshman at 133 pounds, when Tariq beat why am I drawing a blank on his name from Oklahoma State? Cade Brock. When Tariq beat Cade Brock, Brock was known as a thrower too. That's Cade Brock upset Cody Brewer during the season with a throw. Yep. Cade Brock could throw. Tariq beat him in those positions. Now you're talking about him being disciplined. Tariq can throw too, and he's got the leverage. I just think it's a great.
I agree, but I don't think he's going to put himself there. Tariq is he's a smarter wrestler than he's ever been. He's not going to put himself in that situation with a guy like Austin Gomez. It's not going to happen. And Austin Gomez is also not going to throw him to his back like he did Sammy Sasso. Who did he pin? Sammy? He pinned Rich Lovett. Rich Lovett. He's not going to do that. It's not going to happen. I got Tariq winning that match.
I got Tariq winning that match too. And now here's my thing, man. So we watched Yanni this year. I feel like out of all the top guys Yanni's wrestled, the one time that he looked like a world beater in for the NCAA season was against Sammy Sasso. He had the huge scare against Rich Lovett. He had a little bit of a scare against Jaden Abbas. And we really, I want to say we really haven't seen him against other, top tier guys since then. That's not his fault. And, you got to give him the benefit of the doubt. This guy's chasing greatness. He's right there to be an Olympic world champ. He's a 2-time NCAA champ.
Going for 4.
Going for 4. You could say, look at his NCAA finals. No disrespect. Seriously, no disrespect.
Yeah.
Is Yanni Diakmahalis people are gonna like get up in arms in this, and I'm not trying to make this like a disrespectful thing. I really want to break this down. Like, hey, luck, you gotta win luck. You gotta have luck on your side to be a champion. Freshman year, he should have lost. He was about to lose to Bryce Meredith in the finals. And
my question is if those guys do not shoot on Yanni Diakmahalis, does Yanni Diakmahalis beat Bryce Meredith?
Does he beat
Dean Heil? Does he beat those guys? That's the stuff.
Look at the second year he won it. You could argue he should maybe there was a missed call there against Joey McKenna. So he's a 2-time champ off of a guy doing a little too much, and then another guy getting a missed call. So he's a 2-time national champ with crazy circumstances behind it. And then we're also talking about just he hasn't looked the greatest against these top tier guys outside of Sammy Sasso. Tariq is a gamer. When the lights, there's a couple guys I'm gonna say this about. When the lights are on, he's going to shine. He showed there was only 1 year, and that was his sophomore year where he didn't do it. And I guess 133 was at that point in time is just a little too much of a cut for him. But he's ready to go when the lights are on. I think he's very good in all the positions he can get into. He can do a lot of different things. Man, this could be like Darian Caldwell versus Brent Metcalf. That's how I feel. I'm also I'm with my dad, and I believe I'm with you too. I'm taking Tariq Wilson to be the 2022 national champion at 145 pounds.
Wow. You're taking senior Tariq Wilson. Man, I like it. I do. I like it. I've been saying for a while, I said, if there's anybody who could, beat Yanni Diakmahalis, I think I thought it was Ridge Levitt. I think Ridge Levitt, has a bad style. It's a bad style matchup for Yanni, but I think there's someone else who could do it. I do believe Tariq Wilson could do it. I'm going to take Tariq Wilson because I've been pretty much staying picked a couple number 1 seeds. So I'm going to pick Tariq Wilson.
Right. I'm with you, man. That's 3 for 3 there. It's 3 for 3. Any specific guys you want to call a big time dark horse here before we move on? For me,
Yaya Thomas, I think is going to do work.
Me too.
I think Yaya Thomas is going to definitely outdo a seed. I wouldn't be completely shocked if he beat Austin Gomez.
I wouldn't either.
I like Austin Gomez's story, but I'm not. So Yaya Thomas is the guy. I'm not shocked. So if he makes the semifinals, I'm not shocked.
I'm with you 100% on that.
That's my guy for the dark horse.
We're getting close to 30. We're making good time here. We're getting close to 30 minutes, and we're halfway through these brackets. I like it.
Yeah.
157 pounds. We heard my dad's pick. Uncle Tony's going with Ja'Cory Teamer. I'll get into that one. I'm pretty sure. We're gonna have some differences in opinions here. Let's look at these first round matchup. Anything that sticks out for me, you know what, man? This wouldn't stick out normally to a lot of people. Doug Zapp. First of all, Doug Zapp came into college as a 133 pounder. He's wrestling 157. He's solid, but like what I was saying about Sam Latona earlier is I think Caleb Young's lack of like high caliber performance since that first year he All-American is I think this guy was wrestling 174 as a freshman, really to get in the lineup, but he was a 65. I feel like 157 is just a serious cut for him. It's why you don't really see him open up much. He's a big, strong kid, but that worries me a little bit. So that's one that sticks out to me. Not calling an upset. I'm just saying that sticks out. JQ's versus Lewin first round. That could be something. That's an upset watch one there. I like Elijah Cleary versus Justin Thomas. That's not big time stuff, but I like that one. Is there anything else first round? No. Marcus Hartman versus I mean Marcus Hartman, Peyton Robb sticks out, but not Peyton Robb's the guy there. And then Wyatt, Sheets, and Deacon only sticks out because Sheets is a returning All-American and he has to see the 2 seed first round, but we don't expect upsets there.
Yeah. You want to see who do we got now?
Let's get through this thing. You want to start it off?
Yeah, I think Bergey's gonna give David Carr a much closer match than probably people expect. David Carr still wins. He's into the semifinals with a win over Caleb Young.
You got Caleb Young. Wait. You got Caleb.
Sorry, no, Will Luan. I'm sorry, I said Caleb Young. Will Luan. I got him.
Scott, hold up. You don't got Ed Scott going to the semis?
No, but he's on the other side of the.
No, Ed Scott's the 4 seed.
No, I said I got David Carr beating
Will Luan
in the quarters. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, that's my mistake.
Man, I don't know though. I think Monday's tough. Man, I think
you know what?
Earlier in the season, but I think Monday is tough. I think
you know what? I'm with you. I think Monday, turns the tides. I got David Carr in a match of second generation studs. These guys' dads are legends. I got David Carr versus Quincy Monday in the semis.
I'm gonna have to. I'm taking. If we had your dad on the phone, he would take. I wouldn't be shocked if he took Ed Scott. He's very high on Ed Scott, but I got Quincy Monday beating Ed Scott, and I got David Carr beating Quincy Monday to make the finals.
That's a great Friday. You get Ed Scott, Quincy Monday, and then could David Carr versus Quincy Monday.
That's a fun Friday morning.
Yeah, that's a fun Friday morning and a fun Friday night.
The bottom side, I think you're going to disagree with me.
All right.
I think Austin O'Connor shows up. I do. I think Austin O'Connor will end up. He's going to end up beating Casto. And he's going to beat Franek from North Dakota State, who's really tough. And he's going to beat, here we go, Ja'Cory Teamer. I'm going against the New Yorker. I'm going against Teamer. I think Austin O'Connor is going to make the semifinals with a win over Teamer. And I believe I'm going Ryan Deacon all the way to the finals.
All right, so if it breaks out the way that you're saying it breaks out, I got Deacon to the finals too, but that's not how I got it going at all.
Over Josh Humphreys. I got Deacon beating Josh Humphreys and then Deacon beating O'Connor.
All right, so I got David. First of all, I'm not going to sleep on that Hunter Willetts Brady Berge match. Brady Berge should win, but Hunter Willetts is solid. I got David Carr over Brady Berge. Then I got David Carr over Will Luan, just like you. Yeah, I really couldn't tell you who I for sure think comes out of the 4-5 quarter between Monday and
that one's so tough. That one's so
Scott.
tough.
Because Ed Scott's another guy, man. I've been doing this the whole time. I'm like, yo, when you got a guy that can just hit you with stuff from anywhere, and especially in March, it just gets crazy. I want to. They got good coaching at Princeton though, so I want to say Quincy figures it out.
But he doesn't beat him. He doesn't beat him with a throw. He wears him out. He wears out of Quincy Monday. If he does beat him, it's very similar to the match that he had at Princeton. He gives up the first takedown, comes back, wears Quincy out, beats Quincy. But I think Quincy wins this one this time.
Me too. And then you get the great storyline of David Carr, Nate Carr and Kenny Monday's sons wrestling each other in the semifinals. That's awesome.
Yep, that one's gonna be
fun. That's no walk in the park, either. David Carr could go down. He could. I'm not gonna pick it. I got David Carr going to the national finals out of that top half. Ja'Cory T. Listen, man. I don't know if you just haven't watched Ja'Cory T. I've been watching Ja'Cory Teamer wrestle since he was a little kid. You know what Ja'Cory Teamer makes his money at? You look at that. When
the lights are on, I agree with you.
Right behind you on the ceiling. Can you tell me what's there? It's a light.
When the lights are on, Ja'Cory Teamer shows up. I agree.
Not only does he show up, but he shows out.
Yes, his win.
Over Deacon.
He had some impressive wins, but I don't have him beating Deacon. Even if he does make the semifinals, he's not being Ryan Deegan.
Man, Teamer is just on another level, man.
You're not gonna tell me a guy. I know this is freestyle, but I know styles make matchups. But a guy who beat James Green, is going to lose to Ja'Cory Teamer. I like Teamer. I know styles make matchups. But
Did you ever?
I can't see him throwing Deegan. I don't see it.
It doesn't have to be a throw. He can score from multiple positions, and that you've seen Deegan lose. We've seen Deegan didn't. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't either he lost to Ja'Cory Teamer in the third place match a year ago, or he almost lost.
Deegan won that third. I thought Deegan won last year.
I could be wrong on that. I got Ja'Cory Teamer winning his first round match. Then I have him beating Kendall Coleman in the second round. After that, I gotta open this bracket back up because I'm on my phone. In the quarters, I'll take him over Austin O'Connor. I'll take Ja'Cory Teamer over Austin O'Connor. And then the Josh Humphreys Ryan Deegan match could be scary, man.
Deegan beat Ja'Cory Teamer last year in the
NCAA tournament.
1-0.
All right, yeah, I knew it was. I knew if it wasn't a win, it was close, and it was definitely scary hours too. Hey man, I believe Deegan could lose to Josh Humphreys in the quarters. Josh Humphreys is arguably the best top guy in the country at 157 pounds.
He is an animal on top. And obviously, and I don't like saying guys got caught on their back.
You're a Shane Sparks guy. You're like, because Shane Sparks was doing that. He hates.
I'm not a caught on the back type of guy, but he ended up getting pinned in that match, and but I don't think that happens again. I don't think it'll be a match. So I think Deegan controls the match.
All right. I'm not mad. I'm just saying that's another upset one. You know what? I'm going to take Josh Humphreys to beat Ryan Deegan, because I remember my man from Suffolk County, East Islip, New York State finalist Jesse Delvecchia. Ryder got this thing where they take guys that retire, that they walk away from the sport, and then they come back and do some stuff. It's like Quinn Kinner. I like Quinn Kinner. We saw him go down in a crazy fashion to my man Jesse Delvecchia. Shout out Del. I think that top riding could be a problem. I think that
Humphreys beating Deegan.
I got Humphreys upsetting Ryan Deegan in the quarters.
Wow.
I think he's going to keep it close on the feet, and the difference is what he does to him when he gets on top.
Okay, we got to speed this up. I want to know, who do you have? Humphreys, the Ja'Cory Teamer. The last time they wrestled, it was an 8. I mean, if I remember correctly, it was the EIWA, not the EIWAs. I'm pretty sure
they just wrestled in a duel. Ja'Cory won that match. I'm not sure the score. It wasn't a beatdown, but I felt like it was a controlled match by Teamer. Teamer's 2-0 in his college career against Humphreys. I think he goes 3-0 against Humphreys to make the finals. And I am going to agree with my father. Ja'Cory Teamer wins a national title in impressive fashion at 157 pounds. Lock it in.
That's such a Long Island.
It's not though. It's not.
That's such a Long Island pick. That's so. Man, I don't agree. I don't think he makes the finals. I don't think he makes the finals.
We're all hanging out in Detroit.
Yes, I think Deegan makes the finals, and I actually have David Carr beating Deegan in the finals.
Okay.
I have a 1-2 seed finals. And my dark horse at the weight class is, let's see here. Also Connor. I have him making the semifinals.
It's so weird calling a national champ a dark horse.
I was about to say that. Yeah, it's kind of, it is a weird call. I mean, he's up a weight class. He hasn't had the success that he had in the past. I think he makes semifinals, beats Ja'Cory Teamer, loses to Deegan. Deegan loses to Cora in the finals. Final prediction.
It's also good. If anybody does beat Carr here, it's going to be extremely impressive because he's on an amazing win streak right now.
Yeah,
this dude hasn't lost in God knows how long. You know what I mean? Since Delvecchia,
right? Last year, I think it's the last time he lost. Delvecchia, he got pinned, and that was it.
No, I was talking about David Carr.
Oh, I thought you meant. I thought you said Deegan. Sorry.
No, I'm talking about David Carr.
Yeah.
For me, I gotta say it's Humphreys just because I got him taking out the 2 seed Friday morning. But I mean, there's so much here that could go on. 160.
Deegan has trouble making. Deegan's not. I mean, 57 is not an easy weight for Deegan. So, Friday morning that may be a good pick there. In the top right of Humphreys. So I like it. I do like it. I am not going with it, but I do like it. But let's go on to 165.
We said 149 was crazy. 165 is crazy. Just off the top, looking at these.
Got a guest here. You can put on the
Roman, bro. I need both of you guys on here, man. National champ, going for a second. Roman Bravo Young is in the building. Promised he was gonna get on 165 with us. So we got and my man 50 grand, Tony Negron in the building too. Like we got Penn Staters in the building right now. 165 I'm gonna tell you, for me, when I'm looking at these first round matchups, what sticks out?
I think for me, just 165 as a whole, I wouldn't say is the toughest weight. Everyone's tough, but it's like
it's deep.
I feel like it's pretty clear cut for me, honestly.
Yeah, I'm looking at this now. I don't really have any first round matchups that are like sticking out. Like, man, you got to watch out for this one. Maybe like the Yant Valencia match, but that's a 15-18. Let's just let's get into this one, man. Which way? I'll let one of you guys take it.
I'll start. So for me, I mean, Wick's really tough. I've seen him wrestle freestyle. He can beat anyone. I'm gonna go with Wick versus Dean Hamidi in the semis. And then I'm going to go Marinelli and Keegan O'Toole on the opposite side. I think these brackets seeds are perfect. And like, there's nothing crazy that stands out to me, but I think Dean Hamidi would beat Shane Griffith, not only because I feel like he's more battle tested by getting his hands on Marinelli a couple times. That's going to help him. I feel like Shane Griffith maybe just doesn't have as much fire as he did last year, but I think just the Big Ten gets you more battle testing than some of these other conferences. And my pick, though, overall, my pick is going to be Keegan O'Toole.
That's what I picked. That's what I got.
He's tough. He scrambles, and I feel like he's more athletic than everyone in this whole weight. And then on the other side, I got to go Wick and O'Toole final. But deep down, I wouldn't mind seeing Marinelli win a national title. He's tough. I love the way he wrestles. He's an Iowa wrestler. I really don't care about that nonsense, but I have a lot of respect for him. But I would like to see Marinelli win one just because his storyline, he's always had so much against him. He's never got it done. It'd be cool to see him get it done. But I know that's a tough task. O'Toole's a bad matchups for him.
Who do you have winning?
I got O'Toole winning though.
You have O'Toole over Wick in the finals.
Yeah. Okay,
so I'm gonna go now. I got to stay the same. I'm a fan of Dean Hamidi. I love anybody who comes out as a true freshman and wrestles the way he does. I really like that Wisconsin staff, but I got Wick beating him. I got the experience over the young buck. I got Wick winning against Hamidi in the top half, and then I actually have Cam Amin beating Marinelli in the quarterfinals. Is that the quarterfinals? Yep, quarterfinals here.
You got Alex Marinelli losing in the quarterfinals for what is it, the third or fourth year in a row?
Yes, I'm going with that. I'm going with history. History repeats itself here. I'm going Cam Amin beats him, and then Cam Amin loses to Keegan O'Toole. Keegan O'Toole beats Cartslope, and then O'Toole beats Cam Amin, and O'Toole beats Wick in the finals. I'm going same as Roman. O'Toole beats Wick in the final. I think.
So we're all on the same page. We are all on the same page when it comes to Dean Hamidi. I've been saying for weeks now, I am very confident that wherever he was in his bracket, he was going to knock off some big name, because a true freshman who just wrestles this crazy style, like he's like, no, he doesn't care who's in front of him. He's giving it his all. He's just got a fun style to watch.
That kid is a savage.
Yeah, complete, best way to say it. So I also have him taking out Shane Griffith. Matter of fact, I tweeted it when the seeds came out. So I got Evan Wick versus Dean Hamidi in the semis. I think Wick's on another level, man. Like Wick has been wrestling seriously well this year. I'm gonna take Evan Wick to go to the NCAA finals, although that's not going to be an easy match at all. Now on the bottom side, KD, what do you think changed? So I have Cam Amin versus Alex Marinelli in the quarters too, but what do you think changes from next Friday morning from what happened in the Big Ten finals?
If I'm correct, Cam Amin had a big NCAAs last year. Is that correct?
He was an All-American, but I think that there were certain circumstances that played into that.
I'm going with history. I could see Marinelli not even All-American. I could see him losing in the quarterfinals and not even wrestling. He's done it before. I'm going. I like Cam Amin in March. I like him. I mean, in the NCAA tournament. I like him here.
All right.
I like for Marinelli, this is the best draw This is a good draw for him, like over the years. The way I see it, I don't feel like Amin has. He's tough. He's going to push the pace, but I don't feel like he can take Marinelli down. People who wrestle Marinelli straightforward is just too hard. And Keegan O'Toole wrestles on the outsides. He creates scrambles, and Marinelli is not good in those situations. So I feel like O'Toole's a bad matchup, but for Marinelli, Amin's a good matchup. So I think Marinelli's going to the semis. Pretty easy. This bracket's pretty straightforward. I think a second round match that'll be fun for the fans to watch, maybe for the first period, is Valencia and O'Toole. That'd be a cool one just to tune in. Cartslope, O'Toole's going to be a great match. Cartslope's tough. Like I said, O'Toole's just too crafty for these guys. A lot of these guys at 65 wrestle real head on the train tracks. And then another tough one is that Oljanik, he's tough. He's Cali. I wrestled him when we were younger. He's from Northern Illinois. And Amin, he's going to give Amin a good match. That's going to be a great match, actually. So don't sleep on that. And then go ahead.
No. Go ahead if you had anything.
Well, I was just going to say Zach Hartman's not bad either. He's going to give Shane Griffith a good match. And that Minnesota kid has 14 losses, but I'll tell you what, he's going to push Shane Griffith. His pace is crazy. So he's going to push Shane Griffith right off the weigh-in too. That's going to be a fun one to watch. Obviously, Shane's a better match, but Carson will just keep coming forward nonstop. Hartman's tough. And then I'll see Ramirez and Hamidi. That's a good match.
I think they wrestled during
Dean had them pretty good. But other than that, I feel like this bracket is not as deep as others, and it's pretty straightforward with the seeds.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I think there's it's like not deep, but then when you dig into matchups or like potential matchups anyway, it gets real fun, right? So like we're all in agreement on that top half. I'm with Roman on that. I got Marinelli over Amin for what I just can't see Amin taking him down, and that's the only path to victory there is if you can take him down, and I just can't see it. So I would have Marinelli moving on to the semis. Carson Cartslope versus Keegan O'Toole. So like Keegan O'Toole is like Ben Askren's like protege. Like I think they've been around each other for a really long. Like they're both from Wisconsin now, both wrestling from Missouri. Like they've been around each other for a long time. He wrestles a lot like Ben with the funk and all that. So Cartslope is a guy that I think most people who watch him were like, he's definitely has the potential to win a national title. And you could argue if he doesn't finish fourth at Big Ten, you could argue he's the 2 seed here, which is definitely a better path for him, maybe. But I could see that one going either way. I think Christian Piles kind of talked me into this one this morning when he was digging in it. Was we've heard this with Ohio State a lot more so in the past than now, but like they're not good on bottom, and that's been a problem for Cartslope. And when you look at Keegan O'Toole, he's very solid on top. So I think if Carson's to lose this match, it's because of his inability to get out on bottom. So because of that, if you would have asked me this probably before today, I would have took Carson to move on. Now I'll take O'Toole, but I feel like that's a match that could go either way and might even be close. And then I got O'Toole versus Marinelli. I'm going to take O'Toole So in the finals, I got Evan Wick versus O'Toole. But I just think Evan Wick is just too solid. You know, I think that this is his year. He brings one back home to California and Cal Poly. Not even sure when's the last time Cal Poly had a national champ. You know, I know they've had a couple finalists in the last decade, but yeah, I got Evan Wick winning it all over Keegan O'Toole.
So we got Keegan O'Toole. He's got Evan Wick.
Yeah, I can see it.
Dark
It
horse.
can go either way.
Dark horse. I guess I can't say Cameron means a dark horse, but who's your dark horse?
My dark horse is probably Dean.
Hamidi? Yeah. I mean, I don't think you can pick a top 5 seed as a dark horse.
I don't really see anyone else. I feel
Yeah,
like the
this is a
seeds are going to
straightforward
be
bracket.
straightforward.
I do agree. This is a straightforward bracket.
Maybe Bubba maybe Bubba Wilson. I wouldn't be shocked if Bubba Wilson, does something crazy and takes out Cam Amin first round. The Bubba Wilson's solid. I'm not, if I had to say dark horse, I would say Bubba Wilson because I could see him doing some stuff. But I agree with you guys. It's pretty straightforward. Like, I don't think anything's going to go really too crazy here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can see Carson being in the finals or semis too. He's just solid. He's tough in all positions. He can go distance. He has a gas tank. So
I think I'm gonna go Valencia dark horse. I think he's the 18th seed and he could get. I think he could potentially maybe get.
Who would have ever thought that, coming out of high school, if you told somebody years ago, Anthony Valencia coming out of high school would only be a one-time All-American?
it's crazy.
I mean, that's nuts. I don't know. That's a crazy one.
Yeah, 100%. We can move on to 174 pounds. Roman, if you want to stick in, you're more
roaming around. This has been pretty good with this. He's good at this stuff. We need him to stick around.
I pay attention. People just don't know what's up.
So let's
We can do. I'll do 174.
We're opening layers here,
Yeah. He surprised me with his insight on this.
I want to hear it. I'm really wondering who Roman Bravo Young is going to pick to win 174 pounds. Like, I don't know.
At 165, it seems like he's rooting for Marinelli, though. I did not expect that.
Hey, he's an objective person. There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm not about the team it don't matter the Iowa and Penn State rivalry. It's like I like to look at storyline and stuff too. But go ahead. You want us to start, or you got it?
I'll take this one. I'll take this one to start off.
First round, we're doing first.
We'll look at some first rounders that stand out to me. It's a 15-18 matchup, but I think Anthony Mantanona and Lance Runyon's a fun one to check out first round. Tyler Aikens of Stanford was the Pac-12 champion. He got Ethan Smith first round. I'll take Ethan Smith, but that's another one just to keep an eye on. And then, man, I think outside of that, Hastings Fine Silver, again, not like a upset type of thing. It's a 13-20, but if we're talking about fun first round matchups, I could see that one. DeVos and O'Reilly's good. And that's pretty much I like Nijenhouse and Michael O'Malley. That's pretty much it for and Joel Devine and Mikey Labriola.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with those. I don't really see any first round matches that really stand out for me. Ethan Smith versus Tyler Etchins. He's tough, but I mean, obviously I see Smith winning, but I know Etchins from Stanford, he's pretty tough. I've wrestled with him just growing up. But for me, that I'm looking at right now, second round matchups, I really like Chris Foca and Logan Massa. That's a good one. Foca's tough. When Foca's on, he's tough. We saw him push Carter and back at our duel. And
Mackay too. Mackay as well. He pushed Mackay as well.
Yeah, but let me talk when it's Katie's time to talk. We'll talk.
There we go.
But yeah, I like the Foca and Massa. I can see Foca winning. Obviously, Massa's tough, but that's a good second round match. Let's see. Ethan Smith and Clay. I think what's his last name?
Clay Lott.
Yeah, he had a good performance at ACCs, and obviously being Hayden was a good win for him. Anthony Mantanona and Makai Lewis would be tough, or be fun to watch. But I obviously feel like Lewis is the better better wrestler there. And top side. Second round top side kind of seems, other than that, top side doesn't seem too.
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, on the top side, second round. Now, when you get to the quarters, that's where things start getting real juicy at 74.
74 might have the best quarters, I think, of any of these weights, to be honest with you.
So obviously, you already know my homer pick, my boy, my teammate Carter. I'll tell you what, Carter and Labriola, that could be an NCAA finals. That simple. Everyone's seen Labriola. He's really good at scrambling. Those leg passes are filthy. That's where he scores all his points. He can go the distance. So that's going to be that might be one of the best matches of the tournament, honestly. That's going to be a great match. Fans are getting a treat. I'm picking Carter, but that's going to be a match to watch. Then we got Kemmer and Hidley. That's a tough one. I don't know who to pick. I know Katie and you guys are NC. I know Katie's a big NC State. Hidley's really tough, but so is Kemmer. You know, Kemmer's tough. You can't really knock him. And the thing why I'm not too high on Hidley, like I know he's tough and all that, but the Big Ten conference wrestling, them wrestling each other is a lot different than a 174 in the ACC every weekend. So I don't know who to pick. You know, I like the way the Hidleys wrestle. I like the antics they do after their matches, but I also like Kemmer. You know, he's good. He's been good since I've watched him when he wrestled Nolf. I know that he's banged up too, so it's hard for me to pick on that one. But I like that matchup. These quarters are fire. It doesn't get better than that.
But who are you picking in the quarters? Who do you got?
So for me, just breaking this, I hate because every time I leave this thing and I have to start all the way from 125 again. 174. So in my quarters, I got Carter going up against Mikey Labriola. Like they really killed him for losing to Ethan Smith here. That's again what we said in the beginning. These got to be talking points once the season's over about like how they're doing these seedings and then like just penalizing guys for not going out to wrestle and stuff like that. But conversation for another day. So I got Carter versus Mikey Labriola. I'll take Carter in that one. And then I got Kem versus Hidley. So like my knock on Hidley in a couple of like it's been the same thing. I've knocked Isaiah Martinez for it, Chance Marsteller, even to a lesser degree, Alex Derringer, as weird as it sounds, because he's a 3-time national champ, 4-time All-American. The majority, if not all of their offense comes from them having to go to an underhook. So if you can take that out the game, you're pretty solid moving forward. So most of the time that you've seen these guys lose is because they weren't able to get to that bread and butter position. With that being said, Kem's not healthy. You know, I saw his shoulder pop out at Big Ten. He was able to finish the match and win to get to the finals, but he's not healthy. You know, and I think that plays a huge part. And you know, Hidley's on full feed at 174 pounds. You know, his loss to the loss to Clay Lott. You know, some freak stuff. You know, it's 9 out of 10 times that we can all agree Hidley wins that match, right?
Yeah, I would agree.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So really, it comes down to Mekhi Lewis, and that match can go either way anytime. You know, when they wrestled in a dual meet, Hidley takes him out, close one. They wrestled in the semis at ACCs, another 1-point match that Mekhi Lewis is able to come out of. Really, even if he was healthy, I'd still be like, I think I'm gonna take Hayden here, but I think the fact that the shoulder seems like it's really limiting him. It's like a clear answer for me to want to take Hayden Hidley out of that quarter to meet Carter in the semi. Then you got I got Logan Massa. Chris Foca versus Logan Massa should be a match to watch in that second round. I'm with Roman. I'll take Logan Massa in that one though. So then I got Logan Massa in the quarters versus Peyton Mako. I think Peyton Mako beats Dustin. I know Dustin Plott won Big 12s and everything, but I don't know. I just like Mako to kind of turn the tides there as an 11 seed. So I think I'll take Mako versus Logan Massa. Logan Massa moves on to the semis. And then I'm taking Ethan Smith against Mekhi Lewis. Mekhi Lewis, NCAA champion a couple years ago, wasn't able to finish out the tournament last year because of his injury. That's a scary one, man. Because Smith is a gamer. He's got a gas tank, and you guys watch him. He's gonna come at you nonstop until the match is over. We really seen it more in his set the second time he wrestled Cam, even though he didn't win. He was right there. So I don't know, man. That's a scary one for me. I guess I'll take the safe pick and go Mekhi. And then in the semis, I'm going to take Mekhi Lewis in the end to make his way back to the NCAA finals. And I love you guys, man. Penn State's family with Tony over there and everything. But I think Hayden gets Carter to go to the national finals.
Wow. I don't. I actually have Carter. I have Carter winning that match. I think, like you said, I think the only thing that about Hayden is that he struggles. When guys shut down that underhook. I got Carter Starachi over Hayden in the semifinals.
You said Carter's losing?
He said
I got your old friend Hayden Hidley beating Carter in the semis.
You're crazy.
All right, I'm crazy. I don't think anybody's agreeing. I might stand alone on that.
Yeah, I think you're on your. I don't imagine Roman's gonna say Carter's.
Hey, what you got on your desk over there?
I don't have nothing on my desk, man.
Right? No Patron, I hope.
No, there's no alcohol on that desk. I promise you.
Thank you for interrupting.
I heard.
He had some craziness. He had to come out here.
But I think Massa has a pretty clear semi path. It's good for Michigan, like team race wise too. That's a lot of points. I feel like no one's gonna stop him on that. Like I said, Dustin Plott won, or you said Dustin Plott won Big 12s, but I'm telling you, Big 10 and Big 12 just two different animals. And I see Lewis making it to the finals. And I'm gonna go with Carter. And then and a big thing that you're saying, Hidley versus Kemmer. Kemmer's good. He can make those adjustments to underhook, but how bad are his shoulders? Not only that is how much training are they getting in this week? What's the mindset going in? I think that's the biggest thing is mindset. If you're not healthy, you're like, this is my last time. I haven't won a national tournament. I'm hurt. Like, you're just not, I feel like you're not going to perform your best when you're thinking about all that. So the big thing is how is he training and how is he feeling? But I think Kemmer can beat Hidley in semis.
In the quarters.
I mean, in the quarters.
Yeah. I'm not. Did those two ever wrestle?
Yeah.
Did they ever wrestle at 157? Like, did they ever cross paths at 57? Do you guys know that or not?
No, opposite sides. I think Kemmer was always going against Nolf, and I think it was from what I remember, it was Pantelio versus Hayden, and I don't remember who was on the other side. I think it was
there was the 1 year where Hayden almost beat Nolf.
Yeah. So you're going Kemmer over Hayden.
Yeah.
So he's going Kemmer over Hayden. I'm going Hayden over Kemmerer. But I got Starachi beating Hayden, and then I have Starachi beating Mekhi Lewis in the finals.
Who you got?
I got to go with Carter. I see him train every day. I know how hard I work. People don't understand this, him, and it's not only his mindset. You can just see his kill or be killed mindset on Twitter and Instagram, all that stuff. So he's just out for blood every time, and that's just. I just don't see him losing, but that's why we wrestle the match. It's gonna be fun, and I'm out. But I appreciate you having me.
Roman Bravo Young, man. I need you on. I need you on.
You know a little about wrestling. Though.
I need you on after nationals, please.
Cheers.
If Carter comes out of that semi, man. If Carter comes out of that semi, he's my national champ pick. Now, if Hayden proves me right, I'm going to pick Hayden to win the rubber match against Mekhi to win a national title.
I think whoever wins that top half wins the bracket.
Right.
But you know what? My dark horse is Foka. I know he didn't have the best EIWAs, but there was like a stat where he like wrestled Mekhi Lewis and Carson. He lost both matches and didn't give up a takedown in either matches.
Yeah, we were there. He gave Carter a ton of fits.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he's my dark horse, but I do, it scares me. How he performed the IWAs kind of scares me, but I'm gonna take him as my dark horse just on how he performed earlier in the season. But I got Starachi over Mekhi Lewis, and now we're on to 184. You got You got who'd you say?
For 174.
Yeah.
If Carter comes out, it's Carter. If it's Hayden, I got Hayden turning the tide.
But you picked Hayden over Carter.
I did pick Hayden over
Your
Carter.
final pick is Hayden over Mackay?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
184, 184 pounds. It's a good one. There's some good matches in here. Just looking at this, Hunter Bolin versus Abe Assad for first round. I think that's an upset. I think Abe Assad upsets Hunter Bolin first round.
Is that an upset? The way the season's been going?
He's the 15 seed. He's an All-American.
What were you guys at?
84.
Oh, we got company.
Whoa,
We got company.
The
Guess
Don,
who's back?
the Don is
We gotta
back.
play like Eminem. Guess who's back?
Guess who's back? Uncle Tony's back.
All right, let's hear 84. We're gonna let Uncle Tony take over from here.
What weight we at? We're at 184?
Yeah.
All right, so I got Max Dean coming out of his side of the bracket to the finals. Who's on
84, not 97.
84, 97. 84, not 97.
Oh, 84. Well, you know what? We're not going to go no further. I think that, you know, Aaron and Darren. Aaron's going to do nothing but improve from the performance against Amin. And I know Aaron's getting to the finals. On Amin's side, does he have Kayson on his side or that?
Now,
Yeah.
just gonna go to that. That's the one person I did.
You better watch Kayson getting to the finals. I got Kayson coming out of that side of the bracket.
Wow.
I got Kayson coming out of that side of the bracket.
Schwab mob.
I do not have Kai Kaizen coming out of that side of the bracket.
Listen, I know that the pick and the logical pick would be Amin, but I'm going to tell you something. Kayson ain't lost to nobody but Aaron Brooks.
It's true.
Neither does Amin.
But Amin got lost to other people.
Not this season.
I'm telling you right now, Kayson's a machine, and he don't stop. And he's got a lot of offensive attacks. And yes, Aaron stopped him, but can Amin stop him?
Okay, so you have Kai Kaizen versus who in the finals?
Aaron Brooks.
Okay, and was before.
Wait. Tidley, Trent is Trent on Brooks' side?
Yes.
Trent is on Brooks' side.
I got Aaron Brooks. I'm going to tell you something too. It's going to be something crazy because Trent Hidley at the level and the things Trent's doing now exceed and are at a different level than it was even last year. His attacks aren't depending on just an underhook. He's not looking just to chase through jam underhooks, which everybody used to be able to look for and prepare for. He doesn't even force underhooks, and he's got a lot of different attacks that he didn't have in his arsenal. And he's to be reckoned with. His gas tank is endless. His heart, his tenacity, his wrestling IQ. He's got to watch it, man. I mean, I got Aaron Brooks getting to the finals, but man, Trent Hidley's a load, man. Trent Hidley is a load.
Should we let Uncle Tony finish and tell us who you think is going to win, or do you want to go see who we got to the finals?
I got Aaron Brooks beating Kayson in the finals.
He's got Aaron Brooks over Kai Kaizen.
So,
Kai Kaizen, whatever.
I said I got Assad upsetting Hunter Bolin first round. I think Stefanik can upset Taylor Vance first round.
Who can upset Vance?
Stefanik from Princeton.
Okay. All right.
Romero versus Donnell Washington. That's one.
It's been very, very, very inconsistent this year. It's not the Hunter Bolin from a year or two ago. He's got a loss to Johnny Lowe, but you can't, it's not no knock on Johnny Lowe. Johnny Lowe was about 25-6 this year.
Just won the IWAs.
Johnny Lowe's the IWA runner-up.
Oh, I thought he won. Oh, he lost? Who he lose to the
Lost to
finals?
Stefanik. I believe he lost to
He
Stefanik.
beat Stefanik. He won the IWAs. Yeah, Johnny Lowe won the IWAs.
All right, then there you go. Shout out Wantag's on Johnny Lowe.
Yep.
Yeah, Johnny Lowe's tough, man. Don't sleep on Johnny Lowe. But like I said, I got Kayson and Brooks in the finals there, and once we go to 97, But there's a lot of good matchups at 84. You're right. There's a lot of good matchups at all these.
Wait, look, you got first round. You got I'm saying Keegan Moore, Trey Munoz, Johnny Lowe versus Malchachewski, solid.
And Trey, yeah. Hey, and Trey Munoz is 20-3 this year.
I believe Pac-12 champ.
And you think that's why?
So I mean,
Conference champ.
Conference champ, but you got Johnny Lowe versus Malchachewski first round. Hidley versus Lyon is something fun to watch. I mean, even Keckeisen versus Weiler. Cochran, this is a fun bracket. Cochran, Poznansky, Truax, Greg Harvey, and then the other one to watch out for, in my opinion, is Marcus Coleman and Batista. With that being said, though, I got I'll have Amin taking out. Amin beats Marcus Coleman to make the semis. Parker Keckeisen beats Bernie Truax to make the semis. I gotta go with Amin. I agree. Is he still there?
Yep, he's here.
I gotta agree. I gotta agree with him as far as like Keckeisen can definitely knock Amin off.
Is that who you're going with? Wait, is that who you're going with?
I'm gonna go with Amin, but I would not be shocked at all if Keck like that. Like that's a super solid pick for him to say that he's got Keckeisen.
Hey, listen, I'm not scared to throw it out there. Keckeisen, he's on their level. He's not. Listen, Aaron beat him 3-2, and I was Aaron. He's athletic enough and was good enough on that day to keep more on finishing. Will Amin be athletic enough and quick enough to stop him? But then again, will he stop Amin? But I'm still going to go with Keckeisen.
I'm not. I'm with you, Richie. I got Amin over Keckeisen.
Look, I think both of those semis are razor thin. I think Brooks and Amin both like just squeak by both of those guys.
I'm going to go with the kid that I know has a high upside, that I know can wrestle with them, that's on their level, and whose gas tank is retarded.
Yeah, he's sticking with Keckeisen.
I'm not mad at it. I am not mad at that pick at all. I think both of those matches are razor. I think both of those matches are razor thin. Like both of those guys just squeak by their semi.
They are. So, with that said, I got Keckeisen and Brooks in the finals, Aaron winning his second national title. I
agree. Aaron Brooks, 2-time national champ, 184 pounds. Who you got, KD?
Yeah, and I hope you got my boy Carter Starachi at 74 winning his second title.
Yeah, oh man, you're gonna kill me.
Man.
You got Kemmer coming out of that side?
No.
He's got Hayden winning the whole thing.
No, Hayden is not beating Carter Starachi.
I got Hayden beating Kemmerer and then losing to Starachi, and then Starachi beating Mackay in the finals.
Yeah.
But I'm not 100% against. I could definitely see it's not something that can't happen. Hayden Hidley could beat Carson Starachi.
Hayden could beat anybody in there. Hayden could beat them all. When Hayden's on, I just his lack of versatility is what, and I love him personally. What a great young man. Respectful, classy, quality as could be. Wins with respect and grace, loses with respect and grace. Phenomenal young man. His brother's a great kid. The parents, mother, father, great people. The only thing that just doesn't have to go with him when it comes to those big ones is the lack of versatility and what he's going to bring offensively.
Yeah.
He's going to look for jam unders. It's not going to stop. It hasn't changed.
Well, so now I'm going to go into the semifinals on the bottom side. I got to meet over Keckeisen, and then, man, this Brooks versus I think it's almost a sure thing. Brooks versus Trey Hidley in the semifinals. Yep. I think that should probably. I think that if you put them on the opposite sides, I think they'd probably meet in the finals. So, but I don't. This one's tough for me. This Brooks versus Trent. You saw razor thin it was last year. I mean, some people would argue that Trent scored that takedown at the end. Some people would argue.
Let's not get into arguing about.
But I'm just saying it was. I'm saying it was a razor thin match, and I think it's gonna be something similar this year.
You could call it razor thin, but let's not pretty much throw in the mix.
No. Aaron Brooks won that match. Aaron Brooks won that match. I thought it was razor thin. I think it's going to be very similar this year.
The only thing I say about that match this year compared to last Aaron better be ready because Trent's better than last year.
Yeah.
He's better. Trent, and he was great last year. He is freaking good.
Man, it's so hard. It's so, before the Big Tens, before what Amin did, it'd be very hard for me to pick against. I know they're different styles, but it'd be very hard for me to pick against Aaron Brooks. But
he's gonna make the adjustments. I had a good conversation with him. He knows what he got to do.
Yeah.
He knows. He's ready.
Man, Trent Hidley versus Aaron Brooks. This is so crazy. This is a tough one to pick. This is a tough one for me.
It's not. I mean, I love Trent, man. But I just think, I don't know. You know what? It is a tough one. I'm gonna go with Aaron, but it's a tough one.
I'm gonna go with Trent. You guys are both going Aaron, right? Are you going Aaron too, Richie? I'm gonna go Trent. Just cause I'm super close friends with both these guys. It's gonna be a razor thin match. I'm going Aaron just because you guys are both going, and I think it's a toss up. And you two are going. You guys two are going Aaron Brooks. I'm going Trent to the finals, and I got Trent beating him in the finals as well.
If Trent beats Aaron, Trent's winning it. If
Yeah.
Trent beats Aaron,
I'm with that.
he's winning it.
Yeah, I got Trent Headley winning it.
I'm with that.
I got Trent Headley winning the whole thing. Who do you have in the finals? You have Kayson versus Brooks. Who you got, Uncle Tony? Who's winning that?
I got Kayson and Brooks. Even though, like I said,
No, but who wins between Kayson and Brooks?
Aaron Brooks wins.
The final predictions: Aaron Brooks, national champ.
Yeah, Aaron Brooks
Repeat.
Kayson.
Repeat. Uncle Tony's got a repeat national champ. Aaron Brooks over Kayson. You got Amin and Brooks in the finals. Who do you got winning?
I got Aaron Brooks, repeat national champ.
Okay, I like I said before, I agree with Uncle Tony. Whoever makes out of that bottom side of the bracket is going to be a national champion. I'm going to go Trent Hidley over Amin in the finals and subway champion at 184.
All right, let's do a dark horse before we go to 97. My dark horse for this bracket is John Poznansky from Rutgers.
Don't get it messed up. Trent Hidley's a bad boy.
My dark horse at 184 is it has to be. I mean, I gotta go with Poznansky.
If Poznansky could ruin this whole bracket if he's back to form, because he almost beat Kayson for third place last year, and he sees Kayson in the second round.
Listen, stop going with last year and tell me if they got better this year than last year. The guy you're mentioning isn't wrestling nowhere near as good as
I didn't say, we didn't say he's gonna win the tournament. This is our dark horse. This is my dark horse, at least.
Dark horse to do what?
To do better than what he seeded.
Oh, what's he seeded?
He's seeded 20th. I think he's a guy who's outside the top 8 that could be in the top 8.
I think regardless that he hasn't been wrestling as good this year as last year, which last year he wrestled spectacularly, I think the experience at the show is going to help him. I see him finding the way to All-American.
That's my dark horse. I guess Uncle Tony's agreeing with me. That's Uncle Tony's dark horse.
Yeah.
What's your dark horse?
We all got the same one.
We all got the same one, Richie?
We all got the same one.
Yeah.
Okay, then we're good to go. 97.
Great minds. They say great minds think alike, don't they?
Yep.
So, all right, before we break down 97, just a couple, because we've been doing this the whole time, the first round matchups that stick out: Luke Stout versus Isaac Trumbull. I think that has like minor upset potential. Younger Bastida of Iowa State versus Braxton Amos. Then, I like the Owen Pence, Thomas Pinola. Jacob Cardenas versus Greg Bolzak. That's going to be a big one.
Yep.
It's going to be a good one. Well, listen, Cardenas is tough, man.
Yep.
Cardenas is tough. He gave Max Dean trouble in Florida.
Yep.
He
He
made
sure
it
did.
very difficult for Max Dean in Florida. You got to watch. It's just like Folker at 174 from Cornell. How he made it difficult for Carter. There's guys that you got to watch who they wrestle that are the best guys in the country and how they did against these returning national champs that might not have had great seasons all around, but when they wrestle the best guy in the country, how they perform. Guys like that, you got to be careful for guys like that, because if they wrestle 3 matches or 4 matches like that in a row, they're on the podium.
Yeah,
for sure. The other 2 matchups that I think people need to keep their eyes on in this bracket to start off: Cordell Norfleet versus Jay Ayala from Virginia, and then the last one would be
Ayala's wrestling well.
Super solid. And the last one would be Gavin Hoffman versus Tanner Sloan.
Yep.
Who against Tanner Sloan?
Yep.
Who's against Tanner Sloan?
Gavin Hoffman
Gavin
from
Hoffman.
Ohio State.
Who?
Gavin Hoffman from Ohio State. Could you hear me?
I know he's solid. He's tough, but that Sloan kid is a hammer.
Which one of you guys? I'll let one of you.
Sloan?
Yeah, I'll let one of you guys.
I know you know Richie's a Buckeye. He's a Buckeye fan.
You want me-
I haven't picked a single Buckeye to really do something crazy this whole bracket.
He hasn't picked the Buckeye to make the. I don't think he's picked the Buckeye to make the finals.
I have no Buckeyes making the finals.
Yeah, I'm gonna. You want me to start it off and give my picks?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Khalid.
So, Richard, you good with that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Dean over Ayala. In that first round in the semi, I got Dean making the semifinals. Dean making the semifinals over. I got him over. Man, that's tough. I got him over.
The names in the brackets in front of me. I don't have it in front of me, but go ahead.
I got him over. I got him over Pat Brucky. I see Pat Brucky beating. I could see Tanner Sloan beating Bonacorsi.
Bonacorsi hasn't wrestled that well this year. I could definitely see him out early.
I got Tanner Sloan over Bonacorsi, and I got Brucky over Tanner Sloan, and I got Max Dean beating Brucky in the semifinals on the top half, and then on the bottom half, I think it's pretty straightforward. I take it back. I think if Isaac Trumbull gets past Luke Stout, I think he could beat Stephen Buchanan.
I don't like Stephen Buchanan as a 2 seed. I would take Trumbull to knock
I
him.
like that match. I like that match. Trumbull over him, and I think if the rematch between Rocky Elam versus Trumbull, I could see Trumbull winning that match. I can see him winning that rematch.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of Buchanan as a 2nd seed. I don't like it. I think there's better guys in the bracket. I think a guy like Brucky's better than Buchanan. I think there's better guys in that bracket. You know what I mean?
What seed did Buchanan get? What seed did Buchanan
He's
get?
a 2 seed.
Second. He's a 2 seed.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you know what? Brucky's a money wrestler too, man. Lights, cameras, action. Brucky brings it.
And I got Cardenas versus Schultz. I got Schultz winning that match. I got Warner versus Schultz in the quarters. Schultz winning. Schultz making the finals where he loses to Max Dean.
Oh, that's a good pick. Schultz is tough, man. Yeah, Schultz is the problem.
Yes, I got Schultz over. I got Schultz over Isaac Trumbull in the semifinals. And then he beats Max Dean in the finals. No, I'm sorry. Max Dean beats Schultz in the finals.
All right. Dad, did you want to take it or did you want to wait?
What? Take what?
Who do you got doing what in this bracket?
Wait, we got a visitor. We got a return
Bravo
visitor.
Young back in the building.
We got a return visitor here.
I'm double legging Uncle Tony in the semis. I'm double legging you in the semis. I'm double legging you in the semis.
Who in the semis?
Me and you.
Oh shit, nigga, I'm gonna beat you in the first.
Oh my God.
Oh man. Family show.
Yeah. Family show. Anyway, yeah, that's my pick. So I'm sorry if I went too fast. Again, just to repeat, I got Schultz over Trumbull in the semifinals. I got Dean over Brucky in the semifinals, and Dean beating Schultz in the finals.
Okay, so I got Dean winning it too. But I don't appreciate you saying Hitler's gonna beat Aaron Brooks.
I'm sorry I hurt your feelings, Uncle Tony.
What about do we ever talk about the second round matchups?
No, we can talk about it.
We're breaking down 97.
Lou DePrez versus Cam Cappy is a good match.
Lou DePrez hasn't wrestled the same this year that he has last year, though. I've been very off on him.
Cappy's so
What about
he's flexible, he's explosive. He's very versatile. He's not one dimensional in his style. The pro's very one dimensional.
What about Cordell, Northfleet, and Jay Arello? That's a good one.
I got Ayala. I think Northfleet already let us know throughout the years how far he's gonna go. I got Ayala winning that match.
I like Jake Woodley versus Pat Brucky too. That's a fun one.
Yeah, I like Brucky.
I like Woodley. Woodley's tough.
Yeah,
Woodley's solid.
He has a lot of losses though, but if he's on, he's tough.
Yeah, when he's on, but the same thing with Brucky. The thing is, Brucky's proven in the Big Ten.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A lot of Big Ten guys are just so battle tested.
All right, let's hear from Richie. Richie, what are you thinking?
All right, so let me start from the bottom. I'm not just like you. I'm not a fan of Buchanan as the 2 seed. I think whoever comes out of that 15-16 between Stout and Trumbull has big time potential to up. Buchanan's solid though. Like Buchanan should make it to the quarters, you know. But I definitely see big time upset potential, especially if it's Trumbull. I'll take Trumbull to take out the 2 seed Thursday night.
Are you choosing Trumbull over Stout?
Yeah, I'll take Trumbull over Stout. I'll take Trumbull over Stout.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, I already said the Amos Bastida match is something to watch out for first round. Amos hasn't performed to the level that we all expected him to. And I feel like when it comes to a guy like that, that makes him extremely dangerous because we know what he's capable of. So if he just comes on out of nowhere, I could just see him busting his bottom side up, making a run straight to the semis, maybe even the finals. I mean, it would be unheard of as a 23 seed. And it's not my pick, by the way. I'm just saying these are things to watch out for. I think I got Trumbull in the quarters.
23? Who's the 23?
Braxton Amos.
Oh, he's talented in freestyle, but not when it comes to this folk style stuff. I can understand his name and what he did at Junior Worlds or whatever it was where he wanted him, man, but he ain't ready for that big show.
Rocky beats
Well, I got Rocky Elam. I actually got Rocky Elam making it to the semis against Schultz. I mean, Schultz was a 2 seed last year. I think Schultz does what he was supposed to do a year ago. Schultz comes out of the side.
You got Elam over Trumbull.
Yeah, I got Elam over Trumbull. Wait, didn't Trumbull beat Elam in Florida, right?
Yeah, that's why I picked him. I picked him to repeat.
He did. Yes, he did.
Yo, if you're Jacob Warner, you gotta love that draw though.
If I'm Jacob Warner, I love that draw, but at the same time, Panola is very, very capable of beating him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Schultz to come out the bottom. I'm gonna take Schultz to come out the bottom side. Top side, I got that thing. I got Brucky going to the semis. Friday morning, the expectation is Cam Caffey wrestles Max Dean. Max Dean's only loss on the season is to Cam Caffey. He did avenge the loss at Big Ten's 5-2.
And he already took care of that loss. He avenged that loss in quality fashion when he beat him 2 weeks ago.
Okay,
Okay, so
Dean's too technical for that. If you watch the duel, it's kind of iffy too, and I think Dean really left it out of the ref's hands. But Dean's too technical.
Yes.
For Caffey. Caffey gets real tired too if you watch that match.
That's true.
But
It's one of those to watch. Dean to the NCAA finals against Schultz. Dean wins his first national title.
okay, so we're on the same page.
I'm going I'm going Dean versus Buchanan. I'm going to take Dean.
Buchanan.
Buchanan's tough.
That's a great pick.
Wow.
Yeah, Buchanan is tough.
So far we got 3 for 3 Dean, and I think Uncle Tony picked Dean as well.
Yeah, I got Dean winning it.
I'm going to be real. Ever since AJ Ferrari is not in this bracket, I feel like it's
Wide open.
more so wide open. I think it would have been AJ versus Dean anyways. AJ's really tough, but without AJ really changes the field. And I'm going to go AJ and Buchanan. Dean and Buchanan, I'm taking Dean.
Okay.
Yeah, me too. I don't know about the Buchanan part. I can understand and respect Lowe's knowledge, especially as a national champ himself, and he's lived this sport all his life. And he has probably an inner feel that we could never have. But as an outsider and as a fan looking in behind this sport for many years, I don't see Buchanan coming out of that side. I see Schultz coming out of that side, but that's just my personal opinion. But at the end of the day, no, I don't see anybody beating my man Max Dean. Very composed, doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low, and we know he can wrestle.
Yeah.
He can wrestle. He can wrestle on his speed. He can wrestle, get off the bottom, and you know he gets on top, man. When he's hot and when he's rocking and rolling, he's turning people, man.
You're in trouble, yeah.
Yeah, it's top. Yeah,
Let's talk dark horses. I'm going Braxton Amos. I guess I could go Trumbull, but I'm going Braxton Amos as my dark horse.
Same. That's a clear one for me.
I'm gonna go with my dark horse. And I shouldn't, but I'm gonna give the Pat Populin, coach, kid, Trumbull, which I know he doesn't ever put forth. He's gonna have to put it in forth. I know he hasn't done it yet.
Guy outside the top of the All
I'm
American.
gonna see if he finds his way to the 7th or 8th place finish.
Okay, so Uncle Tony's going Pat Pops, Isaac Trumbull.
my
Dark horse.
my dark horse is Younger.
Younger's
is a great pick. A great pick for
So
dark horse.
basically, whoever comes out of that is our dark horse.
I could also see Younger in beating Buchanan too.
Wow.
Oh, Rich, you like Younger?
Great pick for a dark horse. He could completely destroy this bracket and make it.
We got insight from Roman. He's giving us good insight. He's shuffled. The shuffle man is back.
Rich,
The shuffle man is back.
Iowa State.
Iowa State.
Okay.
Hey, we got one more. Let's see. We're gonna keep roaming around for one more. We got the heavyweight bracket.
The Gable Stevenson show. The Gable Steve. Well, we still got to talk about it, but it's the Gable Stevenson show.
I got Cassiope winning it.
Who's taking second? Well, second place is winning this bracket.
Let's break this one down. There's not too many eye-popping matches to start off with for heavyweight. We'll just go right through this one. Gable Stevenson to the NCAA finals.
Yep.
I got him taking out Zach Elam second round. Then he will beat Matt Stencil. Oh, I got him beating Sam Shoot, Long Island boy. Sam is it Schuyler? Sam Schuyler. I got him beating Sam Schuyler Friday morning.
Wow.
And on the other part of that, get ready for this because I don't think anybody's going to agree with me on this. But this guy has flown under the radar because he hasn't had the opportunity to wrestle the top guys. Katie, you're putting on a face like you know what I'm about to say.
Wyatt Hendrickson.
I have Wyatt Hendrickson beating Greg to go to the semis.
I disagree.
Listen,
Greg.
Greg Kirkley to go to the semis. I disagree. Big disagree.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you something. When Greg is wrestling with confidence and wants to be in a match and win, man, he can win. He almost wrestled that match. It almost turned my stomach when he lost to Cassiope in the last 2 seconds. And it almost gave me reason to believe he was thinking ahead to having to wrestle Gable and almost like, and I know he didn't bail out. It's almost like, yeah, he trolls you. I'm out of here.
I'm out of here. It's crazy.
it's the Gable show. We all know that. But
I don't like Colton Schultz as the second seed. I think Mason Paris beats him in the quarters.
Wow, Paris is a 7th seed, huh?
Yep, I think as a 7th seed, he makes the finals. Loses to what's his name? Loses to Gable in the finals. My pick here, and you may disagree, I have Jordan Wood beating Cassiope in the quarters.
How did that match go when they wrestled in Florida?
I don't know if they wrestled.
I don't know.
They did.
But
I don't know, but I got Jordan Wood over Cassiope this time.
Paris is better than Cassiope and Schultz in my eyes.
Paris should make the NCAA
The
finals.
7th seed is better than the 4th and 5th seed in this bracket.
No, Greg beat him twice.
I'm saying is a better seed,
Oh, yeah.
is a better place to be than
But the thing is,
4th and 5th.
Schultz should have been penalized because he didn't walk out on the match to wrestle Greg when he could have.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
He's 18-0 because they could have put him out there. They didn't put him out there at the ASU duel.
Because they had already lost the duel, so they didn't throw him out there. That's true.
Yeah,
Yes.
they got shook.
I actually not mad at the Woods Cassiope pick. It was only a 3-2 match when they wrestled at the collegiate duels.
I got Woods. I got Woods making the semifinals, losing to Mason Paris. Mason Paris losing to Gable.
But listen, mark my words, this we're gonna get. Gable, the NTA is gonna put Gable the last match. He's gonna dominate. He's hitting the backflip and leaving the shoes on the mat, and everyone's going, and it's a wrap.
That's
See
it.
y'all next year.
Wait, we got one more thing.
Remember I said that.
Wait, Richie, what's your pick? Richie, what's your pick?
Wait, forget the pick. You heard what Roman just said?
Yeah.
So he got real specific on this one, which
He's
I
getting the
love. Right?
backflip, putting the shit on the mat. They're giving him OWs,
Backflip,
getting
he's gonna
odds.
win his title. He's gonna eat whoever's food is in the finals with him. He's gonna handle him. And then Rose said he's gonna backflip, take off his shoes, and call it a show. It's over. It's a wrap.
You know what's unfortunate too? He's better now than he was when he won the Olympics. And his wrestling career is most likely over. That does suck as a fan.
Carries, he can still come back for another year of college if he wanted to.
No way, really?
Yeah, it's another year.
He's got eligibility still.
Yeah. So Uncle Tony, you got Gable over who?
I got Gable over everybody on the bracket. If they come at the same time, he's winning.
Okay, so he's got Gable versus everyone at the same time.
He can wrestle all the side at once and win.
Okay, so Uncle Tony has Gable versus Mason Paris, Schultz.
No. Honestly, if Mason Paris is on that other side, the only one who just makes him look human is Gable.
So he's got
the loss to Kirkfleet, to Greg too.
2 losses.
But I know how many losses he got to Greg.
2. He just got 2 losses to Gable and 2 losses to Greg.
Is Greg
got him figured out.
Huh?
Greg?
Is Kirkfleet on the same side as Mason?
No, other side. He's on the same side as Gable.
Poor Greg. Yeah, I got Mason and Gable Stevens in the final.
Okay, repeat finals. Roman's got Greg over. He's got Gable over whoever, and then Richie. Let's hear it.
And Gable Stevenson, man.
Over who though? Over who? That's not.
Paris.
This bracket wasn't about who's going to win it. This bracket was who's coming out of that bottom half.
He'll wrestle Paris. You know, Schultz is another. We were supposed to see Schultz wrestle Kirk, and he refused to come out. So
yeah. So we're all on the same page here. Now we got one thing left. Now, what is who's going to win the team national title?
All right. So. Michigan won the Big Ten championships. If Penn State gets anything out of Drew Hildebrandt at Big Tens, Michigan only beat Penn State by 1.5 at Big Tens with no points from their number 2 seed at 125. They get just any little bit from Hildebrandt, they win a Big Ten title. The national tournament is always a different breed from a conference tournament because you have so much more parity that's going on. We've seen Ohio State beat Penn State for Big Ten titles, and then Penn State goes on and wins a national title. Michigan, it's going to be Michigan, it's going to be Iowa, and it's going to be Penn State for it's a 3-team race for sure. We already talked about earlier how we don't expect to get much from Stevan Micic at 141. I don't expect Michigan to get an All-American at 49. They're not. So I expect them to have a national finalist at 25. I expect them to have an All-American at 33. I think that they can have an All-American at 57. They've got a returning All-American at 65, who I think will get back on the podium. I think Logan Massa gets back on the podium at 74. That's 5 All-Americans right there. You got a national finalist, in my opinion, at 84, an All-American at 97, and then that's 8 All-Americans and a couple national finalists right there.
Yeah.
And Penn State, Hildebrandt's going to have a tough road because I think, even though I think he can keep it close with Soriano second round. Huh?
He did not do himself any favors.
That's the worst thing.
They had a really close match with Soriano.
He's got to stick with Soriano in the second round.
He's going to keep it close with Soriano, but we all agree he'll lose that match.
I don't know if he'll keep it even close. Now Soriano's conference is going to be so high.
He's not. Yeah, maybe not him, but
ain't going to be as high. I don't know about keeping it close this time. That 2-1 match was something beautiful. But that same kid who wrestled 2-1 against Soriano looked like he couldn't step on the mat with Soriano when he wrestled in the Big Ten.
I picked that. I said he was going to have his hands full with D'Agostino.
We're not talking about one match. It was 2 matches where he went 2 in a barbecue. And when you're at that level, you ain't supposed to go 2 in a barbecue.
Look, I won't kill him.
Barbecue.
I won't. That's how you call it. He went 2 in a barbecue. I won't kill him too much. I said he was going to have his hands full with D'Agostino, and I'm not going to kill him for losing to the same.
Send me that text. You did send me the text before the Big Ten that you said you had D'Agostino beating Hildebrandt. I got the text to prove it. You said it. Yes, you did.
I'm not gonna kill him for going 0-2 because, like I said, I said he was gonna have his hands full with D'Agostino. He lost to Patrick McKee the second match. The same guy he lost to for third place. I'm not gonna kill him for that. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
nobody's picking him against Soriano. He's got a tough road. Let's say he runs through the backside and he's able to finish on the podium. All right, one guy. 25, you got one. So we said Michigan's got 8 guys on the podium. 25 for Penn State, that's 1. 33 for Penn State, you got a national champion. 41, you got another. I got Seabass, but that's not.
33, we got a national champ at 41. You know who's got to come through and find a way to get on that podium, which is the ones that matter, are the Bartletts.
Well, I got Bartlett. I think I said I got Bartlett losing first round.
Listen to me. We know who our definitive All-American and national champ guys are. We know who they're going to be or who they should be, and they're going to be in the mix. It's the guy that's not that definitive guy that wins and makes and breaks a tournament championship team. That young man, Bo Barley, got to bring it. He's got to finally make a freaking jump to the next level. He's got all the ability to keep people from scoring on him. He's hard to finish on. You name it, he brings it. But the 1-point matches, the consistent 1 point, not enough offense, just doesn't do it for me. It doesn't do it for me.
Okay. Let's choose our top 4. Who's leaving with the national championship?
Who's leaving with? Well, I'll tell you what, because he makes it, but he makes a.
Because unlike the Big Ten, a lot of the guys that did well, like Ragusin and the rest of the guys who took third, well, guess what? They're gonna have to face a lot stiffer competition from the Pac-12, the MAC, and different.
It's a larger field. I agree.
Right. Our guys, listen, our definitive muscle at 33, 41, 74, 84, 97 is legit. Somebody have to throw a pipe bomb in the locker room for them guys not to be in the finals in place. Those guys are all money right there. All of those guys are money. Let's talk about the guaranteed money that Michigan State got. Guaranteed money. Either to get on the podium or win it. Guaranteed money to get on the podium for Michigan. Let's rock it. Soriano, and who else?
All right, I said, all right, check it out. I said,
hold up. Let Richie.
No, listen, even with Brookie ain't even definite money.
Well, neither is Amin.
I mentioned.
Amin's not definite either.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the little Amin, not the 97 pounder.
You're also talking about 2 guys that are returning All-Americans.
I got Soriano, I got Amin, I got Paris, and who else is definite money?
Soriano, Amin, Paris. I think Brookie's definite money. This is the guy that took 4th in the country.
No, stop. That's your opinion. Definite money. Listen to me. Stop.
What have you seen from Amin? Amin. What have you seen from Brookie?
Stop is so crazy.
You hear me? When I say definite money, listen, I forget where he places a dome because I know he's winning it. When I say definite money, is Roman Bravo getting on the podium?
Yeah.
Is Nick Lee getting on the podium? Yes. Is
he's going in.
Carter Durant's getting on the podium? Yes. Is Aaron Brooks getting on the podium? Yes. Is Max Dean getting on the podium? Yes. If one of those guys don't get on the podium, I'll turn around and never go to another freaking wrestling match in my life.
Wow. You hear that? You heard it here first.
That's what I need.
Wow. He threw the horn.
They got 3 definites. They got 3 definites to our 5 definites.
Yeah.
So we up 2 right out the gate. Now let's not talk about how high our guys are going to finish. We got 5 guys, I swear to God, that everybody knows are definite podium guys.
Yeah.
Definite.
You know what, though?
No way Roman don't get on the podium. What?
But for that reason, what Uncle Tony mentioned, I think Penn State's gonna win it. That's what I think. I think there's a race. I think there's a true race for second place. In that, I'm not giving it to Michigan. I'm not giving second place to Michigan. If the cards fall the right way, I think NC State. I think NC State is. I think we lost Uncle Tony. I think NC State is a top 4 team.
Yeah, so was Arizona State. Arizona State.
Arizona State. Things go well for them. I mean, Valencia shows up, guys show up.
We all agree Penn State is going to win this, right?
Yes.
I still don't think we should dismiss that this is a race for number 2, though. I think that this can be something in the thick of things, you know, going into Saturday, not necessarily Saturday night, but in the Saturday. I mean, I disagree. I think Brookie's a returning All-American. I haven't seen anything from Brookie that tells me he can't get back on the podium this season.
Richie, can you see what Richie's doing? You see how he's manipulating? When I say I can't see. Stevie Wonder can't see and it's real.
I never heard that one before.
Stop saying what you can't see. Because I can see Brookie going 2-2. Because guys can beat him. You tell me Coleman Roberts gonna go 2-2 and not play. I'll shoot you where you stand. You tell me Aaron Brooks and Starachi and Lee. Those guys are definite. We're talking about definite. Stop with what I see and I think forget that nonsense.
This is going crazy.
I'm talking about definite.
So
Definite podium.
okay, let's finish this off because this is gonna go. We're gonna get crazy here. We're gonna be here for an hour talking about
Penn State is winning. Do we all agree?
Okay, we all agree Penn State's gonna win it. Who is your Uncle Tony? Let's start with Uncle Tony. Who is your second, third, and fourth place team? Who takes home a team trophy this weekend?
He's thinking.
Michigan, Iowa State, and NC State.
Iowa State.
How's Iowa State?
You know he been in Iowa. Come on.
University of Iowa. Okay,
Iowa.
Iowa State's another team, Uncle Tony.
Michigan, and if they have a good run, NC State.
So you think Michigan? You think NC State's third, or what's the order?
I see NC State taking 4th.
Fourth.
I see Penn State, Iowa, Michigan State, NC State.
Okay. Okay, Richie, what's your final 4?
Penn State, Michigan, Iowa, Arizona State.
Okay, I'm actually going Penn State, NC State, Michigan, Iowa. Final.
Wow, God bless you. I love you, nigga. I know you got red and black on, and I know you got a baby wolf in your pocket.
No, I picked Camacho. I picked Camacho to do worse in that bracket. So I can't. If I'm gonna go with that, I gotta pick them too.
I can't see NC State coming home with a team trophy because I feel like there's more hitters for it. Like if Ja'Cory Teamer wins a national title, like I know I picked Hayden to win it, but that's not Ja'Cory Teamer seriously can win a national title. It's very hard.
If you're picking Hayden to win it, then Hayden seriously. I mean, what's the difference?
The difference is Ja'Cory Teamer is gonna bonus his way to at least the semifinals. I don't see Hayden Hidley doing that.
Yeah. But you also had Trumbull in the semifinals. The problem is your numbers don't match up.
Yeah, but these are points things. Look at this. You can get an All-American at 25. You can get an All-American at 33. Parco can come through for you. Ja'Cory Teamer can win a national title. Valencia can come through for you and get. I don't think he's an All-American though, but he can get some points. 97 is something. Then Schultz is a returning All-American. I just feel like there's more there than what NC State's bringing.
Yeah, I would agree.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Why you on my little bike?
I'm gonna tell you something.
What do you say?
He likes Ed Scott. Uncle Tony is a big. Here's a news flash. Uncle Tony is very high on Ed Scott. He has it from the beginning of the season. Before anybody else said it, he said that Ed Scott was going to shock a lot of people this season. And that's he said that before the season even. I mean, the first match of the season. Yeah, he said Ed Scott's going to shock some people. He's big on Ed Scott. He's big on Ed Scott.
It was very hard for me to pick who's coming out of that quarter with him on Monday. But Ed Scott is going to do some legit stuff here.
Yeah. Okay.
His motor's from another planet. Like he's a pinner.
Keep losing him, man. Keep losing him.
No, he left on a high note.
He's left on. I think that was his.
He left on it. Yeah,
that was his grand. Yeah.
Grand closing.
Yeah.
All right, man. So we all agree Penn State's gonna win this thing. Thank you everybody for tuning in. That was a fun one.
A
You know,
fun and crazy one.
fun and crazy. You know, you never know. You never know what's gonna happen on the rundown. Roman Bravo Young comes through, Coach KD.
Aaron was supposed to come.
That would have been nice if Aaron pulled up.
Aaron Brooks was supposed to pull up.
Thank
man.
God you didn't hear me pick
Let me see
Trent
what this
over him.
guy's saying. Imagine if he comes in the nick of time. Yeah.
Oh man, we're wrapping up. You know, so
All right.
Tony coming through. Uncle Tony found a way to get in on this thing. Awesome stuff. We're in for a heck of a tournament next weekend. It's March. Crazy things are gonna go down. We got a team race. Thank you guys for tuning in. Signing off. We'll see you guys next time. It's Rich. It's KD. It's Tony. It's Uncle Tony. It's Roman Bravo Young, and anybody else who wanted to show up. And
Thank you, Richie. Thank you for having me.
Man, I appreciate. Trust me, man. I seriously appreciate this.
Thank you.
So yeah, man. It is Rich. It's Kayson, not Kayson. Kayson was spearheading this whole thing, but it's Rich. It's KD, Uncle Tony, Roman Bravo Young, Tony,
Little Tony.
anybody else who wanted to come through. And man, I don't even know if we might have to. Hold on, give me a second.
Are we still live?
Yeah, we are still live, man.
Okay.
Oh, we live?
We are live.
Oh, ain't no editing.
Well, it's hey man, we just got to end it, man. Thank you guys for tuning in again. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Richie, my man.